This one's for all the marbles. It's Game 3 of the 2026 Cape League Championship. We'll break down the absolute cinema in Games 1 and 2, how both teams have struggled with insight from multiple people on each side, and give our keys to the game in the Cape League TV Playoff Pregame Show presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply.
It all comes down to this. 8 teams, 1 goal. The CCBL Championship. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Playoffs, presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply on Cape League TV.
It's the final game of the 2026 Cape League season, and the Bourne Braves are taking on the Harwich Mariners here at Whitehouse Field in Game 3 of the 2026 Cape League Championship. Gabby, Chernoff, and Ryan Croke here live in Harwich. Ryan, we had an absolute treat in Games 1 and 2, and this is the first Game 3 for both of these teams all playoffs. They're the only teams to have defeated each other throughout the entirety of this postseason.
Well, it's only fitting that we got 2 teams coming into the championship series undefeated, and 2 games weren't enough for a victor to be realized. And 2 very different Games 1 and 2. The storyline of Game 1 obviously was Harwich's pitching, what it failed to do. Mistakes gave Bourne the 7-3 win here in Harwich in Game 1 the other day. But last night, Harwich's pitching was the story for the exact opposite reason. Completely shut down the Bourne offense. 0 runs for the Braves last night. They couldn't do anything with runners in scoring position.
No, they absolutely could not. The timely hitting for the Bourne Braves in this championship series as a whole hasn't been great. 8 runners left stranded in last night's shutout. And like you were talking about, Harwich and Bourne's pitching both up against each other. Both of them did great, especially those starters. In Game 1, Scott Landers said that this is the time of year when you're short on starters, especially. You're short kind of everywhere, but especially in that starting pitching department. And then you have both of those guys out there. One of them's going 6 full innings, the other one's going 6 2/3 and gets pulled on a walk. So it's really impressive stuff in that regard, but neither team able to hit with runners in scoring position. And for Harwich last night, only 1 run to show from it.
They only had 4 base runners all game, and they really only had that singular opportunity to bring anybody home when Ty Smolinski hit that shot that we thought was a home run. Then it was a ground rule double. It was similar to what happened in that Hyannis Game 2 from earlier this postseason. We thought it was a repeat of history. Instead, it's a ground rule double. Harwich did end up bringing home a run in that inning. Their lone real opportunity to get on the board, and they capitalized on it. Much like Bourne capitalized on the opportunities Harwich gave them in Game 1. I think that's really what we've seen through these first 2 games. These 2 teams are both very, very talented, but they've given the other opportunities to take advantage of, and both sides in alternating games have done so far.
I think it's a testament definitely to all the points you just mentioned that the 2 best teams left are the ones in this championship. They're capitalizing on each other's mistakes, and there's not a whole lot of them aside from Harwich's pitching in Game 1. And Harwich in the narrowest of margins last night when you saw both teams with stellar pitching and both teams' bats kind of cold, Harwich was the one to come out on top of that. And Scott Landers can't be too pleased with his bats, but I caught up with him before the game for more on his message to the team to secure his 4th CCBL championship in 5 years tonight, and what his team needs to do to wake those bats back up. Coach, Harwich forced a Game 3 last night. What did you say to your team after the game?
I mean, we got to come back today and win. You know, it was a good game. It was a good baseball game. We pitched well. They pitched well. We came out on the losing side, and, you know, thankful that we have another game to play.
What did you say to them before today to kind of return back to your winning ways?
Have fun, be loose, go play, and win the game.
With the last 2 games, only 2 runs have been scored off of hits. What have you seen from your team's at-bats?
We just have to focus better. You know, I think they have to take the pressure off themselves and just stay in the moment and do what's needed at that point in time. If we do that, we'll be fine.
Is there any particular reason you think that that's kind of been lost on the team through those first 2 games?
No, we had Berkeley leave 3 games ago, and if you look through the whole season, when Costello left, we went into a little lull. When Schaff left, we went into a little bit of a funk. When what's his face at first base left from Army, Overbeak, we went into a little lull. But, that lull should be over now, and we got to have better at-bats.
What have you seen from your team coming out of those lulls that gives you the confidence they can do the same thing again tonight?
We just, they're the same guys. So hopefully, in baseball, it comes full circle, and they have better at-bats tonight, and we get the job done.
Cool. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Well, Scott Landers called it a lull with his bats. I would say that's definitely the case. You look at Bourne through the regular season and in those first 2 rounds of this postseason, and their bats were just on fire. Against Falmouth, 18 runs through 2 games, breezed right past the Commodores, and then the second round against Hyannis, 12-11 win one night, and the bats were just as hot the next. So kind of uncharacteristic by Bourne for sure, but you look at Harwich's pitching, it's uncharacteristically stellar, if that makes sense. Not that it was bad through the regular season, but the numbers were kind of middle of the pack all the way through, and they have absolutely been lights out and shut down Bourne's offense so far.
Yeah, I don't think anybody yesterday was expecting Brian Matishat to go 6 2/3 scoreless coming in to Game 2 yesterday, but that's exactly what he did. This Bourne offense has really been quiet, even though they did put up 7 runs in Game 1. Only 2 of those runs came on a play that didn't involve any sort of error from this Harwich defense. So, yes, Bourne has been opportunistic, but they haven't really been able to score runs when the pressure's been on them. And you look at the numbers on your screen right here. 11 left on base in Game 1 despite those 7 runs, 8 yesterday. That's 19 through 2 games, 2 for 23 with runners in scoring position through Games 1 and 2 of this championship series. That's not going to get it done for these Braves. And I like what Scott Landers continues to say. He wasn't a fan of the at-bats in Game 1. He's saying there's a little bit of a lull going on. Well, if there's a lull, you got to snap out of it. There's no tomorrow. There is no next day after that. This is the last day of the Cape League season. That lull has got to end today if you're the Braves and you're hoping to win your 4th title in 5 years.
Yeah, he admitted that it was a lull, but based on what the other things he said, I think he has a lot of confidence in his team. I asked him, what did you say to your guys after last night? He said, nothing. I have faith and I have trust in them. We've been in lulls before. You look at the end of the regular season, 7 straight games lost to close out the regular season, and then they go 4-0 through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So that's not something that's lost on this Bourne team, but you touched on it earlier. Only 2 runs driven in off hits through the first 2 games of the championship. Something's absolutely got to change.
And you touched on it earlier too. A lot of the secret sauce for Bourne in these playoffs, especially early on in their run, was jumping out to these early sizable leads. We talked about what they did against Falmouth in particular, and even in Game 1 of that Hyannis series, they did jump out to an early lead, ended up having to come back late in the game thanks to a miraculous run by the Harbor Hawks. But the point remains, Bourne's bats have been at their best when they get out to early success. They haven't been able to do it so far in this series. They're going to have to change that tonight if they want to come out with the win.
Well, a guy that Bourne's definitely going to be looking to is Luke Costello. He's been here since the beginning of the summer and been one of Bourne's most reliable bats. Quiet so far in this championship series. Our producer Dan Papillo caught up with him before the game for more on Bourne's approach to tonight.
Luke, Game 3, winner take all today. What's the vibe?
Yeah, I think the vibe's really good today. Obviously yesterday didn't go as we planned, but it's baseball. It's the hardest game in the world. So I think today, Harwich is a great team. I think we're a great team. I think, it's going to be a battle for 9 innings, but hopefully we can do as much as we can to come out on top.
Yeah, you mentioned the struggles yesterday, not the results necessarily, looking for only 4 hits on offense. How do you kind of put that in the rearview mirror and play the next day?
Yeah, we've been here before. Last 7 games of the regular season, we went 0-7, obviously. So I think, having that same kind of mentality that we don't want to lose going into today and try to get on a heater early, try to, produce runs as quick as we can, and then follow that momentum throughout all 9 innings.
What about the message from your manager and from the rest of your staff at the plate today?
Yeah, I would say just be aggressive early, stick to the plan. They're throwing a great arm. We're throwing a great arm. So, it's going to be a battle, obviously, offensively again. But as much as we can do to, battle, especially in late counts with 2 strikes, try to just bump the pitch count as much as possible. So I would say that's the plan for today.
Luke, thanks for your time.
Luke Costello seems equally as confident as his manager, Scott Landers, that this team can get back to its winning ways in its last game of the season tonight. He said vibes are good, vibes are high, and you know, what more can you ask for in the last game of the season?
I think you make a great point with his experience, too. He's been with the Braves all summer long, and experience can be such a big factor. You talk about it with Bourne. They have the most experience of any team in the field when it comes to winning in early August. Scott Landers, the best in the biz at the moment, going for 4 out of 5 years. Lou Costello being here all summer, I think, should help him out. He's got 1 game left to go. He's going to look to make it a good one.
Yeah, and that Bourne offense limited by Harwich's stellar pitching. When we come back on the Cape League TV playoff pregame show presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply, we'll take a look at everything that Harwich has done right to force a Game 3 here at Whitehouse Field.
Welcome back to the Cape League TV playoff pregame show presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply. Once again, Ryan Croke alongside Gabby Chernoff here at Whitehouse Field ahead of Game 3, the winner-take-all game between Bourne and Harwich in this year's Cape League Championship Series. Gabby, we talked a lot about Bourne already, what they have done well, what they need to do better on the offensive side. Harwich is really only in this Game 3, though, because of the success they had pitching, especially last night.
Yeah, you say we've talked about what Bourne hasn't done, and what they have done has mostly been because of what Harwich hasn't been able to do. Harwich in Game 1 went up 3-0, and the only reason Bourne took the lead in that game is because Harwich essentially gift-wrapped that win to them. A hit by pitch with the bases loaded, and then 2 consecutive walks is what allowed the Bourne Braves to take the lead in that game. 5-3 ended up being the final score, and then last night Harwich's pitching was just lights out. Bourne's starter was as well. I mean, I think that first hour and a half of the game or so, we were through 6 innings already, so very efficient. Those guys were punching people out, forcing people to ground out, fly out all game long, at least through that 6th inning. But Harwich's pitching was absolutely the deciding factor last night, and in Game 1, just in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers on your screen, there's not much of a disparity in many of them except for that drastic 8 difference in between the walks from Game 1 and Game 2. 11 walks in Game 1 to just 3 last night. That really can make the difference. This Harwich pitching staff came to play last night. You had 6 2/3 from Brian Matishat, who was unbelievable last night, our player of the game. But the guy who came in and backed him up, got the Mariners out of a jam in the bottom of that 7th inning, was Reese Oakley, and I caught up with him before today's game. Reese, winner take all Game 3 today, championship on the line. What's the vibe like around the team?
The vibe's great. I mean, we're all hyped up, amped up, ready for this game. I mean, a little nervous, but we believe we can pull this one off and win it all.
Played a major role in holding Bourne scoreless in Game 2 last night on the road. What kind of confidence does an effort like that give you guys coming into tonight?
Gives us a lot of confidence, gives our whole pitching staff confidence, our offense, knowing they can trust us out, let our defense work and everything, gives us a whole lot of confidence.
When you're coming into the game with that in that jam, in the bottom of the seventh, what's going through your mind?
Attack the guy, get him out, get our offense back in the dugout to add some more runs. Really just main focus is just to get the guy out.
We've seen throughout this series so far that Coach Englert has a lot of confidence, it seems, in his pitching staff. Can you speak to what level of confidence he has in you guys?
Oh, he has a lot of confidence in us. He's always behind our backs. He amps us up, gets us ready. He just always has our backs and everything.
And what's the message been from Coach Englert tonight ahead of Game 3?
Attack him, come out. Really, I can't really say what he said on camera, but, I mean, yeah, he said just beat him is all I'm going to say right now.
Well, there you have it. Good luck tonight. Well, thanks so much, Reese. You got to keep in mind that he's keeping that coach speak from Steve Englert to himself, probably for the right reasons. But a lot to be proud of last night if you're Harwich and its pitching staff. Really kind of bailed out a lackluster offensive performance for the Mariners. Only 2 opportunities with runners in scoring position. They got the 1 run home on a sac fly, and that was all they needed last night, Gabby.
Yeah, you talk about Steve Englert. Another thing that really impressed me about Harwich approach that game last night was Steve Englert's managerial decisions on the mound. He was leaving guys in a little too long, which was leading to those gift-wrap runs for the Bourne Braves in Game 1. And then last night, Game 2, you talk about Matishat. He went 6 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 hits before he was pulled, and then he got pulled on a walk to load the bases. A walk, not the 2 hits before. So Steve Englert definitely playing on the cautionary side. He learned his lesson in Game 1. But you talk about the Harwich offense not really doing as much as it needs to either. Only 4 runs across those first 2 games on 8 hits, and 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. So we talk about Bourne's bats need to wake up, so do the Mariners.
Yeah, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position really jumps off the page to me. It didn't really feel like that after Game 1. You had those 3 early runs that they scored, and you're thinking, man, Harwich is really going to give it to Bourne in the offensive department. And after that, they go 16 consecutive innings before they score again all the way on the next night, deep into the game in Game 2. The offense for Harwich has been a strength throughout these playoffs, just like it has been for Bourne. You think of the 12 runs they scored to eliminate YD at Red Wilson Field and arrive here in this championship series. Haven't seen that yet from the Mariners.
No, we haven't. And this is the second shutout the Mariners have posted in this postseason. The first game against the Brewster Whitecaps that they played, Game 1 of that first round, it was a 4-0 shutout. And then the next day, they were able to get it done with some extremely timely hitting. 6-5, walked it off in the 10th inning. And then it was an absolute slugfest against YD as well. Those bats were wide awake. And again, I said it earlier, I think it's a testament to the fact that we do have the 2 best teams left in the CCBL this season. They're playing each other, and we're getting some really good baseball because of it.
They're being forced to win in unconventional ways, and that is something that always is interesting to see how these 2 titans of the Cape League go at it. Obviously, Harwich, the only team to have beaten Bourne in Scott Landers' time as manager in a playoff series, that 2024 Cape League Championship Series that the Mariners walked away with. I think people forget. We talk a lot about this could be 4 and 5 years for Bourne. This could be 2 and 3 years for the Mariners. So maybe a little bit of more credit has to be given to Steve Englert and company.
Yeah, and Scott Landers gave him that credit as well. Game 1, I was talking to him before the game about the fact that this is a rematch of that 2024 championship series, and he said they've had our number this year, and the one series playoff loss that Scott Landers has in his now 5-year tenure as the Bourne Braves manager is to Steve Englert and that Harwich team. So you got to be thinking, you know, they're good sports, but maybe a little bit of bad blood. Scott Landers seeking his revenge. He wants that 4th title in 5 years.
Well, Gabby and I have given you pretty much all you can handle in terms of analysis. Why not tag in some other voices here on our Cape League TV crew? We'll send it to Daniel Stein and Alex Burstein, who will have the call for tonight's game.
Thanks so much, Ryan, as we get ready to go for Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series between Bourne and Harwich. Daniel Stein with Alex Burstein. Alex, we were on the call last night for what was about as much of a barn burner as a 1-0 game can get. There's a lot more offense in Game 1 than there was in Game 2, but in Game 2, it was just an elite matchup of starting pitching.
It really has just come down to which side of Harwich showed up, because in Game 1, it was their pitching that doomed them. 11 free passes via the walk. You add 1 via the hit by pitch. Last night, Ryan Mashak goes over 6 innings of scoreless ball. Noah Scott for the Braves did almost just as well. He gave up just 1 earned run over almost 7 innings. So we really have seen good starting pitching out of both squads, and not to discount what Bourne's done at all, but right now it seems if Harwich shows up with their pitching, they have a chance. If they don't, we could see another repeat of Game 1.
And the starting pitching matchup for tonight, it'll be Tyler Baird, the Vandy right-hander, on the mound for the Braves, with Colin LaBelle, the former George Washington Rev, on the mound for Harwich. When you look at this game for the Mariners, you're trying to come back from a 1-0 series deficit. What do you think the Nerds need to do to take home the hardware tonight?
I think they just have to be a little more consistent with their hitting. Last night, it was really just the Ty Smolinski show. He's the MVP. You're going to expect him to have hits, but when he has over 60% of your offense, he had 2 of the 3 hits on the night. That's not exactly a recipe for success. And I will be very shocked if the Bourne Braves go back-to-back nights without scoring a run. You're going to have to put more than 1 run on the table if you're Harwich. So get your offense going a little bit more, but it's also very important that the starting pitching continues to be as dominant as it was last night.
That Bourne offense has been so good throughout the playoffs, but they were silenced last night, left the tying run at third a couple of times in Game 2. We'll see what Scott Lander's offense can do in Game 3. Well, this one's for all the marbles. Harwich won, Bourne won. Who's going to take home the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League Championship? We'll find out next. So for Alex and I, we'll send it back to Ryan and Gabby.
Well, that makes it 5 members of our crew that you've heard from tonight. Why not add a 6th? Our Lorelei Yeager caught up with Cade Curlin, the hero for Harwich last night, the game's lone RBI ahead of tonight's game, with how the Mariners can pick it up on the offensive end.
We're just ahead of the final game of the 2026 Cape League season. I'm here with Cade Curlin. Cade, you're one of the more stronger and consistent bats on this Harwich team, but so far in this series, it seems as if pitching has been the name of the game. What's something you've prepared coming into today against Bourne starter?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a talented guy on the mound, so we just got to come out and kind of work the pitch count, right, get his pitch count up early, and hopefully get in their pin.
And then you were able to get the Mariners out of their scoring drought last night in the 7th. You were able to bring Nico in for what ended up being the only run of the game that night. What's something you guys are hoping to bring into today to hopefully get off to a hotter start?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a matter of kind of getting the entire team, my bullpen included, bring the energy, and just kind of get rolling and just not stop.
Mm-hmm. And then you've been here all summer. What's the biggest thing that you've learned while being out here as you transition to a new season and a new school?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same game you play since you're like a little kid. And, I mean, obviously this is a grind you're playing every single day. And so it's just showing up every single day and giving everything you got. And we're here in the last game of the season, and so you want to finish strong.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then not only have you been out here this whole summer, but this is your 2nd summer being out here. Do you have any favorite memories being on the Cape, whether that be on the field or not on the field?
I mean, this summer has been great, and I want to finish the right way. But you got to go to last summer, last time I was here, so in 24 when we won it. And we went like 2-18 or something stupid in July, and then we ended up winning the whole thing, and so it was incredible.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. Thanks so much for the time. Good luck today.
Thanks so much, Lorelei. Well, we've heard from the stars of today's winner-take-all Game 3 between Bourne and Harwich. The only thing left to do is give our predictions. Gabby and I have our keys to the game and our score predictions for Game 3 of this Cape League Championship Series on the other side.
Welcome back inside Whitehouse Field for the Cape League TV playoff pregame show presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply. Gabby Chernoff and Ryan Croke live here in Harwich. We're previewing Game 3, the last game of the 2026 Cape League season. It's a winner-take-all matchup between the Bourne Braves and the Harwich Mariners, and we've talked about pitching pretty much this entire show, and we're going to talk about it some more with our starting pitchers.
Yeah, two guys who haven't really made that many appearances for either of these teams. Tyler Baird making the start for Bourne. He's made 3 starts coming into today's game, but Colin LaBelle has also played in 3 games, only made 1 start. Not too much innings of work for these two guys this summer, and the numbers aren't that impressive when you look at them.
They aren't, but they weren't yesterday either. I don't think either of us were expecting those starters yesterday, Noah Scott and Ryan, to go as long as they did, but they did, and I think the manager, Scott Landers, told me in Game 1 that they're limited in the starting pitcher department at this point in the season. But if your guy is going, you kind of got to let him go. So I'm curious if that will be the same case tonight with these 2 starters, because like you said, numbers not too impressive, not really on their side in terms of the positive of things. But we've been shocked before. We were shocked 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago.
You make a great point. Exactly what I was going to say. We did say that yesterday's pitchers' numbers didn't really jump off the page pregame, but boy, did they deliver. The starters both going 6+ innings yesterday. Today, though, you look at those ERA numbers, 6 for LaBelle, north of 9.6 for Baird this summer. If you're each lineup, the Harwich lineup, the Bourne lineup, you're looking at that pretty happy because you haven't had too much opportunity to really find success with the bat in this championship series. And if the first 2 games have anything to tell us, all it takes is one scoring opportunity can win you a game in this Cape League Championship Series. There's 1 game left. Who's going to make most of their opportunities? Who's going to have the most opportunities tonight? We'll have to see what happens with that starting pitching matchup.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Before we wrap things up here, we've got to give our keys to the game. We've talked about where each team stands, how we got here, but now how do we tie it all together, Ryan? Your key to the game for the Bourne Braves.
Listen, you need the bats to come back into the picture. I mean, you had an unbelievable first 3 games of this playoff run. Over the last 3 games, it's kind of faltered. You've had 10 runs over the last 3 games, but I'm not really going to give you too much credit for the 7 runs you scored in Game 1, when a lot of it was more due to Harwich's mistakes rather than your own success. It's plain and simple for Bourne. The bats have been lethal when they get out to a hot start. They haven't been anywhere in this championship series. The Braves need to jump out to an early lead, and the only way they're going to do that is if the bats come out firing. They know they have it in them. Scott Landers has confidence in his guys to get the job done. He hasn't really liked what he's seen from his offense so far in this series. Bring back some confidence to the plate, and Bourne will be set up for success.
Well, you touched on my key to the game, and that's scoring first. These past 2 games have been the only 2 games for Bourne in this postseason where they haven't been the ones to score first, and you've seen them struggle because of it. You talked about 7 runs in Game 1, but only 2 of them off hits, and no runs scored last night with only 4 hits. It's uncharacteristic for the Bourne Braves if you look at the regular season, and if you look at the first 4 games of this postseason, and what they were doing in those first 4 games was obviously working because they went undefeated. And the thing that those 4 games have in common is the fact that they scored first in all of them. So like you said, bats have got to come back, and they've got to come back quick. Harwich, what's your key to the game?
Make Bourne beat you. I think you've been the better team through these first 2 games. You kind of gifted, as we've been saying all throughout the show, you kind of gifted Game 1 to Bourne. You didn't give up anything last night, and you came out with the 1-0 win on the road. Should be an easier time tonight on your own home field. Same thing, it's got to be the same approach. Don't give Bourne any opportunities. Take control of the game, dictate the outcome.
Yeah, dictate the outcome. I think that happens on the mound. We've talked about how this Bourne Braves team has that hitting within them. They have those power bats. They have that ability to hit, and Harwich is the one who shut it down and limited their ability to do so. So I think that is absolutely the one thing that Harwich is going to have to hone in on tonight, is make Bourne beat you by having total command on the mound. I hope that Game 3 is as cinematic, as exciting, and maybe as unique as Games 1 and 2 were. That's all we have for this Game 3 playoff pregame show presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply. For our producers, Dan Papillo and Jason Stalakis. For Ryan Croke, I'm Gabby Chernoff, but don't go anywhere. Alex Burstein and Daniel Stein on the call for this winner-take-all Game 3 in the 2026 CCBL Championship Series.
After more than 45 games, 2 full playoff series, the conclusion of this summer classic commences here from Whitehouse Field in Harwich. Out of the West Division, the Bourne Braves from the edges of the Twin Bridges come charging through the playoffs, seeking their second consecutive Cape League championship. But in their way out of the East faces a Harwich Mariners team fresh off of a wave of postseason success. Both teams 5-1 in the postseason duke it out here in Game 3 of the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. We couldn't be more excited to present it to you live from Whitehouse Field on Cape League TV. Welcome fieldside here in Harwich. Daniel Stein joined by my great partner Alex Burstein here as the Harwich defense is getting ready to go. Alex, this is it. Game 3, Bourne won 7-3, and then Harwich, with their backs up against the wall last night, took down the Braves in hostile territory. Now the Mariners back at home for a chance to win it all.
Yeah, and last night, one of the most impressive pitching performances we've seen across the entire Cape League season. Brian Matishat, 6 2/3 innings. He gave up 3 hits, but no runs, and then you get another 2 innings of relief out of Reese Oakley and Thomas Miller. No runs between them either. So this team really has found their pitching stride at the right point. But you can't turn away from what Bourne did. They only gave up 1 run off of a sac fly. So both of these defenses are in tip-top shape. Now the question is, can you get some hits? Because last night they just did not come.
It was a Bourne team that was held to just 4 hits in Game 2. Let's meet the starters for Scott Lander's Braves. Riker Waite leads things off at shortstop. Rustin Rigdon bats second, with Luke Costello hitting third. Max Farrell moves up a couple spots into the cleanup position. Matt Bolton bats fifth, playing center. Ryan Pikatowski into the lineup, playing DH and hitting sixth. Justin Osterhaus, the left fielder, bats seventh, with Austin Hawk, the third baseman, hitting eighth. And Bryce Estep rounds out the Braves' order, batting ninth. The starter for the Mariners is the right-hander Colin LaBelle. His first pitch to Riker Waite is on the top of the zone for a strike. This one getting started right on time at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Right on left matchup here with the Braves' superstar shortstop Waite. LaBelle's 0-1. Grounded to the opposite side, past the glove of the second baseman Cade Kurland and into right field. Waite's got his 3rd hit of the championship series. Alex, he's been one of the most consistent players on the Cape here in the playoffs.
And this is exactly what he did last night. First at-bat of the day for Bourne. He singled, got to second base. But the problem was, after that, there was 9 straight batters retired. So can the rest of the order do some damage? Rustin Rigdon has proved he can. Now will he do it in a big moment?
Right on left, first pitch from LaBelle. High fastball called for a strike. Home plate umpire tonight is Mike Hinojosa. Brendan Murphy is at first, with Jeffrey Merzel as the second base umpire and Robert McHugh at third. We'll get you Harwich's defense in just a moment. 0-1. And Rigdon fouls it off himself. Colin LaBelle is making his 2nd start of the playoffs. Finished the regular season with a 6 ERA and just 6 innings of work. He's jumped out ahead of Rustin Rigdon here, 0-2. Riker Waite being held on at first with a moderate lead. LaBelle's 0-2, runner goes, pitch is grounded right up the middle, gloved by Smolinski. He gets the base at 1, goes over to first, and turns a double play. On that note, we'll get you the Harwich defense. It's Sean O'Leary at first, Cade Kurland at second, Ty Smolinski, who just turned that 6-3 unassisted double play at short,
South Carolina,
with J.P. Peltier at third, Braden Jacksa in left, Colin Larson in center, and Nico Brini in right. So quickly 2 outs as the Waite single is wiped off the base paths. Base is empty with no score here in Game 3 of the chip. And here comes Luke Costello, the right fielder for Bourne. Colin LaBelle on the mound, fires from the stretch. Slider hits the zone. The battery mate for LaBelle tonight is Tucker Stockman, Southern Miss product. Costello has been a little slow in the championship series, 1 for 7. LaBelle's 0-1. Slider taken outside.
That was just the 2nd double play Bourne has grounded into this entire postseason. They have not faced many middle infielders as good as Ty Smolinski, though.
1-1, the pitch. Breaking ball popped up to the right side. O'Leary looking for it in foul ground. He doesn't have a play. 1-1 with 2 outs coming up on Costello. LaBelle is a rising sophomore, spent his freshman year at George Washington, now transferring further south to James Madison. Virginia Beach, Virginia native, gets a little closer to home. 1-2 pitch. Costello takes a slider that bounces in the dirt. LaBelle was really impressive as a Rev this spring. 33 innings pitched with a sub-3.3 ERA. Only started 1 game, but made over 15 appearances. Part of the A10 All-Rookie team. 2-2 on Costello. Breaking ball hit to the left side, foul. Mariners in their home cream jerseys, similar colored pants and threads with the red lettering across the chest that says Mariners, and the red socks, the white and blue stripes. Braves in their away jerseys, the red jerseys and the gray pants. 2-2. Costello pops it up. Should be playable right side. O'Leary at first is looking for it. He steps back and makes the catch as he falls on his back. So LaBelle gives up a leadoff single, but still faces the minimum. We've played a scoreless half inning here from Whitehouse Field. Just getting started here in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. Winner takes all here with Bourne and Harwich tied up in the series at 1. Here come the Mariners bats. Coming up next on Cape League TV. No score moving to the bottom of the first here between Bourne and Harwich. Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. Let's meet Steve Englert's starting lineup tonight for Harwich. Leading off is the center fielder, Colin Larson. He bats in front of Nico Brini, the right fielder, who hits second. Ty Smolinski, the Cape League MVP, bats third, playing short with Cade Kurland in the cleanup spot. Sean O'Leary bats fifth with J.P. Peltier batting sixth. And the left fielder, Braden Jacksa, hitting seventh, with the catcher, Tucker Stockman, batting eighth. And then rounding out the order is the designated hitter, Paul Jones II. And the starter tonight for the Braves, it's Tyler Baird.
Yeah, he's a young flamethrower out of Vanderbilt. Second start of the postseason for Baird. He looked really good in Game 1 of the postseason. Went 6 innings, gave up just 1 run. He's had some turbulent outings this summer. Gave up 8 earned runs just a few weeks ago to Falmouth, but when he is on, and trying to fit his way into the rotation for the Vanderbilt Commodores next year, a good performance tonight would certainly help his case.
Baird's numbers, a high ERA in just 9 innings of action in the regular season. He put together a good playoff start. First pitch to Colin Larson. It's a fastball at 94 taken outside. Larson batting lefty, hitless in the championship series. Baird's first playoff start came in the West semifinals against Falmouth. 1-0. Fastball tails outside again. This one comes in at 95. In Game 1 against the Commodores, Baird pitched a season-high 5 innings, only allowing 1 earned run while capturing the win, in addition to striking out a couple. Falls behind 2-0 on the leadoff man Larson. From the wind, the pitch. Fastball darts the inside corner. 97. Alex wasn't lying when he said that he was a flamethrower.
He gets a lot of strikes, 51 of them this past season with Vanderbilt, but he gives up base runners too.
2-1. Larson takes a fastball that runs in. 3 balls in the strike on the Mariner leadoff man. Larson playing center field tonight. Bourne sets their defense a little bit further back. Just Hawk playing in at third on the grass. Baird's 3-1. Fastball popped up. Left side, fair territory. Riker Waite is over, and the shortstop for Bourne makes the catch in shallow left. Larson retired. We'll give you the Bourne Braves defense. Riker Waite just made the play. He's at shortstop. Austin Hawk is at third. Rustin Rigdon at second. Max Farrell is at first. Bryce Eastep will catch for Bourne tonight with Justin Osterhaus in left, Matt Bolton in center, and Luke Costello in right. So Tyler Baird gets the leadoff man to retire, and now that will bring up Nico Brini here with 1 out. Bottom of the first, no score between Bourne and Harwich. Another right-on-left matchup as Baird sets at the belt and starts his wind. First pitch, Brini rips into right center field, and that's going to find the gap. Matt Bolton cuts it off in center, and it'll be a long single for Brini. Only his second knock of the championship series. It's got to feel good for a guy who struggled.
Yeah, and we've seen this strategy of just attack early in counts throughout the series so far by Harwich. You saw Colin Larson pop out on kind of a fastball outside, a pitch that he probably should have taken, but Brini there sees the first pitch heater and just smashes it. So we see the early happenings of this Harwich offense once again.
Ty Smolinski standing in, the Cape League MVP. Right on left, first pitch. Off-speed pitch finds the zone on the inside corner. He was the Pat Sorrenti most valuable player. 6 home runs for the Mariners this season. He's played well in this championship series. 3 of 6 with a couple doubles. He's got Brini on first. Baird's 0-1. Breaking ball fouled off to the right side. Bounces up against the bunting right next to the Bourne dugout.
Well, this is a much better start for Harwich, who took until their 12th batter to have a base runner last night. And the more pressure you can put on the starter, the better, because the more arms that Bourne puts out there, the more vulnerable they're going to get.
Wasn't until the guy at the plate, Ty Smolinski, hit a double in the 4th inning. They got their first hit off Noah Scott. 0-2. Smolinski rips one into shallow left field. It's going to drop in front of Osterhaus. It'll be back-to-back singles for the Mariners as Brini moves up to second. Smolinski with his 4th hit of the series. This is a very good start for Harwich. Tyler Baird is someone who's not easy to hit off. Highly recruited, a Vandy guy, and as you mentioned, with that velocity, but no problem for Smolinski.
Yeah, right now we've seen both Brini and Smolinski just have a lot of fun with Baird's fastball. They both go to the gaps. First Brini to right center, then Smolinski to left center, and now you have 2 speedsters on the base path.
First and second for Cade Kurland. Right, here's the first pitch. Slider tapped foul. It will roll near the Harwich dugout. 0-1.
And we've now seen first pitch swings from 3 of the 4 batters. So they're really trying to get in the head of the young pitcher early on, and you'll see him kind of take longer in between pitches. It seems like it's beginning to work.
Cade Kurland at the plate had the only run brought in yesterday on a sac fly. 0-1, 1 out. Baird's offering. High fastball hit into shallow right field. It's going to get down. Rounding third is Nico Brini. He will score standing up. Smolinski right behind him. He will be held at third. And Harwich leads 1-0 here in Game 3 of the championship. Cade Kurland does it again. Second RBI of the series.
And none of these base hits have been too hard off the bat. They are just finding those short line drives. First into right field, then into left field, and now into center field. Bourne can't really come in with their outfielders because there is power, and just like that, we're going to see a mound visit from Scott Landers, just 1 out into the game. And already bullpen work for the Braves.
Scott Landers going up there, as he hasn't made an indication yet. He does the mound visits, the Bourne manager, and he's not going to pull Baird just yet. But meanwhile, for Cade Kurland, this is deja vu. Almost 2 years exactly to the day, Harwich and Bourne were playing in a Game 3 for the championship. That time it was at Doran Park, and the Mariners would go on to win that game 4-3. Cade Kurland was a Mariner back in 2024, and he had an RBI single that ended up scoring a run. Was one of 4 that Harwich brought in that game, just enough to best the Braves to win their 6th Cape League championship. 1-0 Mariners, and they're not done yet. First and third with 1 out for Sean O'Leary. Right on left, Baird's first pitch. High fastball taken upstairs. He's throwing hard. He hit 97. But these Mariners hitters are ready for it. O'Leary hitless in the championship. 0 for 6 with the walk. Got runners on the corners. Baird's 1-0. Breaking ball misses upstairs as well. Pitching struggles is a bit of an unfamiliar issue for a Bourne team that had the 3rd best ERA in the regular season. Only Brewster and YD had better earned run averages this summer. Baird's going to step off and check on Kurland at first. He's in there safe.
It's also unfamiliar territory to be trailing. Through the first 2 rounds, Bourne scored first in every game. Harwich has flipped the favor in games 1, 2, and 3.
It's been such an interesting part of the series, that dynamic in the scoring. 2-0, Kurland takes off for second. Estep's throw down is on the money. Kurland out at second. Staying put at third is Smolinski. Boy, Bryce Estep has been one of the best defensive catchers on the Cape this summer. And it does take some guts to throw down there with that runner 90 feet away, but an absolute howitzer to take Kurland off the base paths. Meanwhile, it's a 3-0 count here on O'Leary. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Baird's pitch. Fastball upstairs for ball 4. So O'Leary really doesn't see a competitive pitch in that at-bat. And it's the first walk of the game for either team. So right back really to where
The third
this
baseman
at-bat
from
started.
Kentucky,
First and
number
third,
13,
this time with another out.
J.P. Peltier.
J.P. Peltier will check in.
Looks like it's Ben Dean beginning to get hot in the bullpen for the Braves. He already has started the game this postseason, a really dynamic arm out of Duke.
First and third, Peltier waits on a first pitch, and it's a breaking ball that backs into the zone. 0-1. Peltier has been a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one with the bat in his hands in the postseason. 2 for 7 in the series, and he's been even better in the playoffs as a whole. Can he knock in a run here? 0-1. High fastball popped up, goes against the top of the netting. Knocks a zip tie that was tied to one of the metal poles off. 0-2 here on Peltier. His playoff numbers hitting .318 with 7 hits, 2 long balls, and 6 RBI. His only hits have been singles here in the championship series. Baird's 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken inside. Bryce Estep was about a quarter of the way to his dugout thinking it was strike 3, but he has to pause and get back in his position. Bottom of the first, 1-0 off an RBI single from Cade Kurland. Harwich leads here in game 3. 1-2 with 2 outs. Baird looks in and deals from the stretch. Breaking ball taken upstairs.
And we're seeing Baird, after giving up 3 straight hits on the fastball, move a lot more to that slider and his off speed. So far it's working, but mixed results actually hitting the zone.
Infielders back for Bourne, with the exception of Max Farrell, who's holding O'Leary on at first. 2-2, 2 outs. The pitch from Baird. High fastball popped up. Goes out of play and will go over the merchandise shack. Can probably guess it, but it is a packed crowd here in Harwich. Fans everywhere, from where we're standing right behind home plate to being scattered throughout the outfield beyond the fences. Everyone wants to see the conclusion of this series. 2-2 again. Baird's pitch. Taken low and inside. Good at bat here from J.P. Peltier. Mariners are just 1 ball away from loading the bases here for Braden Jacksa. Smolinski on third, O'Leary on first. Payoff pitch, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. These 2 guys will be facing off in the same conference next year. 3-2 pitch to Peltier. Fastball cold, strike 3. Baird dots the outside corner and strands a pair of Mariners on the base paths. But Cade Kurland gets our scoring started with an RBI single. 1-0 Harwich here as we head to the second inning here in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. It's been 10 consecutive scoreless innings for the Bourne Braves, and they're going to need to change that here, now down by a run. 1-0 Harwich as we enter the second inning here in Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. Braves went down in order in the first inning. It'll be Max Farrell, Matt Bolton, and Ryan Pikatowski, the three up as Colin LaBelle returns to the mounds for Harwich. Mariners broke the ice in the bottom half of the first on a Cade Kurland RBI single. Now the Braves are playing catch-up for the third consecutive game in this series. Right on right with the cleanup man Farrell. First pitch. Line drive out into right center field. It's tailing down and goes over the glove of the second baseman Kurland. It falls in shallow right, and Farrell is on. Second single of the ball game for Bourne. Leadoff man is on again.
And Farrell was batting in the 5-hole for the first two games of the series, but he's just been by far the hottest bat for probably either team. He entered today with 3 hits, a pair of doubles against this Harwich defense. You move him up to the cleanup spot, lo and behold, he's on with his first plate appearance.
Max Farrell has been kind of an unsung hero for Bourne. 4th hit of the series. First pitch to Matt Bolton. Off speed, tails upstairs. Bolton is tonight's center fielder for Bourne. He's been in the top of the lineup for most of the season, but Scott Landers moves him down a couple spots today. He's in the 5-hole. Second pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs again.
He's kind of the opposite story of Farrell. Someone with just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts in this series, but sometimes a change of scenery in the lineup can help you out a ton.
2-0 right on left. LaBelle's pitch. High fastball at 89. And so Bolton is up 3-0 in the count. He's only gone 1 for 9 in this championship series. That also includes 4 strikeouts. And the strikeout problem has followed him throughout the summer. When he does put a ball in play, he can go a long way. 3-0. Fastball outside for ball 4. Just missed off the outside corner, and Bolton draws a 4-pitch walk.
I don't think he realized he did. He kind of leaned in, was waiting for a called strike, and then realized, oh, I got a free base. And this is exactly what this Braves team needed, to immediately put pressure and try to get that run back. And all of a sudden, you've got both the tying and the go-ahead run on the base paths.
First walk issued by LaBelle. First pitch to Pikatowski. He shows bunt, lays one down foul on the right-hand side. First and second, nobody out. It's Farrell in scoring position and Bolton at first. Pikatowski, the 6-hitting designated hitter, takes his first hacks of the game. 1-0 Harwich, top 2 in Game 3. This one is for all the marbles. The winner will lift the trophy here at Whitehouse Field. 0-1. Pikatowski swings and can't hold up on a slider, and it's 0-2. Pikatowski was a late addition to this Bourne team. He only played 4 games in the regular season. He's going to play D1 ball next year at West Virginia after spending his first year in JUCO. 0-2, breaking ball, broken bat, one hopper to the shortstop Smolinski. They go to second for one, back to first, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. Second double play that the Mariners have turned in as many innings. That was a slow-moving ground ball, but nice work by Smolinski and Kurland to work together.
Alabama,
runner still on third. That's
Justin
Max Farrell.
Osterhaus.
Yeah, it's not the ideal scenario there, but you do get a runner 90 feet closer. So that's a big plus for this Bourne team. That bat, we haven't seen many of that split in many different pieces. There's probably wood shavings at multiple places on the field right now because of how hard of a swing Piketowski had there.
Could probably make a fire with how many splinters there were off of Piketowski's broken bat. Runner on third, 2 outs. Infield moves back for the lefty Justin Osterhaus. LaBelle's first one. Breaking ball popped up left side. This will get out of play. 1-0 Mariners, and this is a spot that Bourne is all too familiar with. They've gotten that runner to third a couple times in game 2, that was, but they just weren't able to bring him home. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball lined the other way through the left side for a base hit. And this game is tied. Justin Osterhaus with his first hit of the series, first RBI. And it could not come at a bigger time. Braves tie it up with another single.
And like you were saying, this is what doomed the Braves yesterday. They were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. You add in that double plate, they were 0 for 9 since the end of game 1. And finally, Osterhaus, who has struggled at the plate recently, comes up big. It's just been these singles.
Righty-righty, first pitch to Austin Hawk is a fastball upstairs at 88. 1-0 count now with Osterhaus at first.
There were 7 hits in all of yesterday's game. There's 6. It's the top of the second.
Oh, how baseball can change in just 24 hours. LaBelle's 1-0. Osterhaus goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw down to second is not in time. Close play, but Osterhaus, who's got sneaky speed, swipes a bag. That's his third of the postseason. Remember, he had 7 stolen bases at Alabama this spring and 24 in his 2 seasons as a Purdue-Fort Wayne Mastodon. He moves now into scoring position for Austin Hawk, another guy who's been good in the playoffs. LaBelle looks in, his 1-1. Breaking ball popped up to the right side. This will go foul. Hawks' numbers in the playoffs, when you look at them holistically, have been really good. .458 average, 11 hits, 8 RBIs. But in the championship series, he's been pretty slow. 1 for 7. You can say that about a lot of these hitters, especially in the Bourne lineup. LaBelle's 1-2. Breaking ball muscled up the middle, backhanded by Kurland at second, and he'll whip it over to first. That line drive almost took the hat off of Colin LaBelle, but he's able to duck out of the way. Kurland retires Hawk 4-3. But this one's getting interesting. Braves tie it up here on the Justin Osterhaus RBI single. To the bottom of the second we go. 1-1 between Bourne and Harwich in Game 3 of the championship. Bottom 3 in the Harwich order due up as we begin the bottom of the second. Tyler Barrett is back out there for Bourne. It's a 1-1 ball game here with both teams at 3 hits. Braden Jackson, Tucker Stockman, and Paul Jones II. The 3 due up in Steve Englert's order. So we get started with the righty-on-righty matchup. Bourne just tied it up back in the top of the second on a Justin Osterhaus RBI single. Now is Harwich going to fight back? Baird starts his wind, his first pitch. Jackson rips it into left, but caught by the third baseman Hawk. He did not let it get past him and into the grass, and perfectly positioned was the Bourne third baseman.
I was kind of surprised to see Baird walk back out there for a second inning when you have so many available arms. But if you're Scott Landers, you've seen your offense is off to a hotter start than yesterday. It gives at least a little longer of a leash to the starter.
First pitch to Tucker Stockman is a slider peeled to the outside corner. 0-1 here. Another right-on-right matchup, this time with the Mariner catcher. Hitless in the series, but only 3 at-bats. Baird's 0-1. Fastball driven deep into center field. Matt Bolton is looking for it, and he'll make the catch a couple feet from the wall. Stockman got a good piece of it, but Matt Bolton is very rangy out there, and the Binghamton Bearcat hauls it in for out number 2.
No designated hitter.
Yeah, he may have been struggling at the plate, but the one place he does not struggle at is in the field. He's been the center fielder since day 1 for this Braves team. Commands the outfield well, and even though the hard contact continues for Harwich, now the defense is catching up to it.
Just 3 pitches is all Baird needs to get the first 2 outs of the inning. Right-left, the first pitch to Jones. Breaking ball to the middle of the zone for strike 1. Comes in at 84. Jones, another guy who's hitless in the series, but 0 for 5. 0-1 with 2 outs. Baird's pitch. Fastball, and Jones checks his swing. Third base umpire Robert McHugh says he held up. That last fastball comes in at 98. It's a number that Baird's been hitting since high school. Highly recruited coming out of North Carolina. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. The pitch to Jones. Fastball popped up left side, and this one goes foul.
And this is just a much better start to the inning than Baird had in the first. The Mariners continue to attack early in counts, but they're not having as much luck with making contact with his fastball with the barrel.
Ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bases clear, bottom 2. Baird's pitch. Jones chops it to the right side. Backing up is the first baseman Farrell. He will flip it to Baird at the bag for out number 3. A smooth second inning for Tyler Baird. He retires the bottom third of the Mariners' order 1-2-3, and we've played 2 complete innings here in Whitehouse Field. Score stands 1-1 between Bourne and Harwich. Don't go anywhere. We got more Cape Cod playoff baseball for you on the other side of the break. Beginning of the third here in Game 3 of the 2026 Cape League Championship Series. Bourne and Harwich tied up in the series at 1 and tied up in the game at 1 as well. It will be the catcher Bryce Eastep to lead things off here in the third, as Colin LaBelle is back out on the mound for Harwich. 10, just looking to continue really what Brian Matishat started yesterday in Harwich starting pitching dominance. Matishat went 6 2/3 innings of shutout ball last night on the road to Harwich's 1-0 win at Dorn Park. LaBelle trying to continue that. First pitch on E-step. Breaking ball fouled over our heads. 0-1 here on the future South Carolina catcher. E-step 0 for 5 in the series. LaBelle works back to the mound and comes set at the belt. His 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball curls into the zone. Quickly 0-2. LaBelle 6'2", 200. Pretty highly recruited out of Virginia. Also plays for the Great Britain U23 national team. Something you don't see very often. 0-2 on E-step. Breaking ball hammered towards the left side on the ground. Gloved by the third baseman Peltier. And he throws across the bag for out number 1. E-step retired 5-3. And that turns the Bourne lineup card over here for Riker Waite.
The
He's
shortstop
1 for 1 today.
from Vanderbilt, number 3, Riker Waite.
Yeah, Waite attacked early, first at bat of the day for the Braves. He recorded a single. He's kind of been the lifeblood of this Bourne offense in the championship series. We'll see what he can do here.
First pitch righty left. Slow strike call from Mike Hinojosa, but LaBelle gets it. Only came in at 84, but that sinker found the zone. Waite going into his junior year at Vanderbilt, originally from Queen Creek, Arizona. 0-1, the pitch. Fly ball into right field. Going over is the right fielder Nico Brini, and he'll make the catch halfway to the wall. Quickly 2 outs here in the top of the third. Rustin Rigdon is the last chance to extend the inning for Bourne.
And this is what we saw from Bourne last night against Manashat. It wasn't a lot of strikeouts from the right-hander, but a lot of easy balls for the Mariners defense, and they'll make these 5-3 putouts to flyouts all day long.
Manashat only had 3 strikeouts in that game. First pitch to Rigdon. Breaking ball fouled into the Bourne dugout. 0-1. The top of the order is so interesting for Bourne because you get a guy like Riker Waite who ultimately only played 10 games for Bourne in the regular season. Rigdon, on the other hand, has been here almost the entire year. 0-1. Breaking ball outside. Yet they're Vanderbilt teammates. Rigdon has played a little bit more consistently than Waite has, but they both were key starters last season for the Commodores. LaBelle's 1-1. Sinker tails outside at 86.
I mean, between Waite, Rigdon, Brini, and starting pitcher Baird, you might have 4 starters next year for Vandy on the field today.
2-1. High fastball cut on and missed. LaBelle hits a high watermark there with his velo, 92. 2-2 with 2 outs. Bases clear. Top of the third. Bourne scored a run in the second, but they're trying to get more here. 2-2 on Rigdon. Swing and a miss. He got him on a big sweeping slider. And LaBelle picks up his first strikeout. He blows through the first 2 in the Braves' order and sets them down 1-2-3. We're playing to the bottom of the third. Score stands tied at 1 apiece here in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. We played to the bottom of the third here at Whitehouse Field in Harwich. 1-1. Braves and Mariners tied here as Harwich sends up the first three in their order. Tyler Baird is back on the mound for Bourne, and after that shaky first inning where he met the first 7 batters in the Mariner lineup, he put down the Ners 1-2-3 in the second. So could he be settling in here? Have to find out. 3 hits apiece for these two teams through the first 2.5. Baird starts his wind. The first pitch to Larson. Fastball popped up to the left side. It goes foul. Tyler Baird hit 95 on that last pitch. He is somewhat of a fortune teller in his own life. When he was just in high school, or entering high school, it was the 0-1. Larson pops it up foul again. When he was entering high school, he made a prediction for himself. In a letter, he said that he wanted to throw 98, commit to a big-time D1 baseball program, and be getting ready for the draft. Well, he hit on all 3 of those things. He didn't get drafted, even though he potentially could have gone in the top 5 rounds. 0-2. Fastball popped foul again. Hits 95 once more. But that is pretty cool to be making that prediction 4 years removed from when you actually attend college. And so far, Baird has fulfilled his own prophecy.
I'd say he's on pretty good track to get drafted in 2 years' time, so
sure.
Doing pretty good for himself.
0-2, right on left. Baird starts his wind. Larson bats the ball to the right side, takes a crazy hop and gets over the glove of the second baseman Rigdon. Larson's on his way to second. The throw in by Costello is not in time. Call it a leadoff double for the Mariners. First extra base hit of the ball game for either team. And that go-ahead run is in scoring position.
That's like a nasty bounce right in front of the second baseman, Rigdon. He's been so impressive this postseason, but it just skyrocketed over his head, and few players possess the natural speed that Colin Larson does in this Cape Cod Baseball League. That's a single for most guys. He stretches it into 2, and as soon as that play was over, Jackson Kircher began to walk down to the bullpen. So a very, very conservative leash right now on Baird.
Nico Brini's showing bunts. First pitch from Baird, he pulls back and swings and misses at a slider. That decision to not have Baird drafted in high school was probably due to his commitment to Vanderbilt. That's something that you see a lot, where a guy will announce his intentions to sign with that school before the draft. 0-1, Baird will step off and flip over to second. Larson in there safe. As Alex mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Baird is going up against a future teammate right now in Nico Brini. He was a Wofford Terrier for a couple years and now moving on to Vandy for his senior year. Here's the 0-1 pitch, way outside with the heater at 97. Brini's an East Coast guy from Plymouth, Mass. Spent a couple seasons at UConn before a couple really good seasons in the SoCon with Wofford. It's a team that plays a very specific brand of baseball. 1-1, swing and a miss, buried a slider and makes it 1-2. Wofford is not a team that normally has a ton of power bats. Normally they're a lot more speedy, and certainly Brini encapsulated that play style. 41 stolen bases in his 2 seasons with the Terriers. Meanwhile, Baird's going to swap out the baseball, get a new one. Ball and 2 strikes here, nobody out. 1-1 in the bottom of the third. Colin Larson just hit a leadoff double. He's being held on by Riker Wade at second. Baird comes set. He's going to step off and throw over one more time. Larson in safe. Brini is 1 for 1 today. Had a single in the first. Came around and scored a run. 4 hits for Harwich already. More than they had for all of game 2. 1-2 from Baird. Breaking ball popped up foul. It will go over the heads of the fans on left field. Really nice night for baseball. Temperatures were around 83 degrees at first pitch, but not very sunny today. Kind of a hazy sky as the sun sets and covers the right field trees beyond the Whitehouse Field scoreboard. Baird's going to step off a third time, and for a third time, Larson is safe at second. Not a lot of wind today either. Flagpole that's right in the middle of the Whitehouse Field scoreboard is barely moving. Right on left, 1 and 2 with nobody out. Baird's pitch. Fastball hit well into right field, down the right field line. There's a couple Braves looking for it, and it lands in foul territory. Boy, Rigdon, Costello, and Farrell were all in the neighborhood, and that ball landed dangerously close to fair ground.
I think that ends up being the best result for Bourne, because if you do make that catch, Larson is almost guaranteed to tag up at second and make it to third safely. So sure, you don't get that first out, but you keep the runner 2 bases away from the go-ahead run instead of 1 for the time being.
Harwich trying to pull back in front. Got the scoring started in the bottom of the first. What can they do here in the bottom of the third? Baird's 1-2. Breaking ball hit to the right side on the ground, gloved by Rigdon, and he flips to Farrell for out number 1. Going over to third on that play is Colin Larson. So Ty Smolinski's already got a hit today, and this time this could be an even bigger at-bat here as he tries to knock Larson in from third.
Kansas State,
yeah, that's just what Breeny needed to do. He had a base hit his first time up, probably wanted to repeat the success, but now you have 2 chances if you're Harwich to take back the lead. Once again, runs have been hard to come by recently in this series, so you'll take everyone you can get.
Bourne will move the infield in on the lefty Smolinski. Larson not being held on. First pitch from Baird. High fastball cracked foul to the left side.
Something tells me with as hot of a bat as Smolinski has right now, he will not be showing bunt at any of these.
Smolinski's pretty quick, and so is Larson, but yeah, especially with that infield in, you're probably going to want him to swing the bat here. 0-1. Baird trying to pitch around a leadoff double. Larson now 90 feet from scoring. Looks out at Larson at third, now in. Here's his 0-1. High fastball, which Smolinski lays off. There's 98 again. Evens the count at 1 apiece. This is the heart of this Mariners order. Smolinski, the third hitter in the lineup, had 2 doubles last night. Looking to bring the go-ahead run in here. 0-1. Breaking ball grounded up the middle. It's going to score Larson. And the Mariners pull ahead at 2-1. Smolinski's got his second single. Stay hot. It has been a scorching summer for Smolinski. And the Mariners grab that lead right back.
Yeah, Smolinski's a guy that started off this postseason ice cold, was 1 through 9, and since then he has just lit up every game and every pitcher he has seen, and looks like Smolinski is just Baird's Achilles heel right now, finding ways to gap it through on the right and the left side, and the big hit there.
Only hitter who's 2 for 2 in this ballgame. He's got a big lead at first. First one on Cade Kurland is a slider grounded right behind us foul. Bourne Ballboy will win the race to that one uncontested. There were some more contested races, especially in game 1. A couple of times the Ballboys kind of collided into each other. 0-1, Baird's going to step off. Smolinski, oven mitt in hand, back on the bag. Cade Kurland is 1 for 1 today. RBI single, which gave Harwich the lead back in the first. Big lead for Smolinski. Baird's 0-1. Breaking ball backs up and almost brushes Kurland.
Scott Landers is standing outside of the dugout right now. He is ready to pull the plug, potentially if Kurland reaches.
5 hits have been allowed for Baird. 2 runs, another on base. Ball and a strike. Pitch to Kurland. Fastball golfed into center field. Matt Bolton finds it, stands under it, and gloves it for out number 2. Smolinski back to first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Harwich 2, Bourne 1 in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series.
The first baseman from UMass
Winner
Lowell,
lifts the Mycock Trophy.
18, Sean
Sean O'Leary will check in for his second plate appearance. No official at-bat today as he walked back in that first inning. Smolinski still on first. Tyler Baird still on the mound. Can he get out of this inning with just 2 runs allowed? He takes a look out at Smolinski at first and sets at the belt. Now looks in and deals a first pitch. Fastball misses inside at 93. You would assume it the same thing, but on the Bourne lineup card, pretty much every pitcher was listed. This is the final game of the season, so you expect everyone to be hot. Baird steps off and throws. Smolinski in there safe. You would figure that Jackson Kircher would be one of the first guys, if not the first guy, out of the pen. Considering how good he's been this summer, it's kind of crazy we haven't seen him yet. Could see Ben Dean as well. Baird steps off again. Smolinski back in safe.
Yeah, it looks like Dean's the one right now taking the bulk of the pitches in the bullpen, so he might be option 1A out of the bullpen for Braves.
A ball and no strikes, 2 outs with the runner on first. Right on left, the pitch to O'Leary. Breaking ball hammered, caught by Farrell at first. Oh, he was perfectly positioned for it. Otherwise, that could have been trouble for Bourne. And that gets Tyler Baird out of the third, but not before Harwich takes their second lead of the early Game 3 action. On a RBI single from Ty Smolinski, Harwich pulls ahead by a run. 2-1 Mariners after 3 full innings. To the 4th we go on Cape League TV. Bourne bats coming up next in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship.
We go to the 4th at Whitehouse Field. Final game of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series, and it's the Harwich Mariners leading the Bourne Braves 2-1 as the Bourne Braves go to bat with really the best hitters, 3, 4, and 5 due up against Colin LaBelle in his 4th inning of work. The starter out of George Washington has dealt so far 2 hits, 1 run given up, and the righty goes to work against the right-handed Costello. First pitch. Change up just misses outside. It's an 0-1 count. 1-0 count. Costello popped out in the first to the first baseman O'Leary. So he's had a quiet start to his day. Next pitch. Breaking ball lined back our way, and the count goes even. That one clipped right against the fencing in front of our broadcast table here at Whitehouse Field.
Yeah, if not for the fences in front of us, I think that ball would have given me a fade right down the middle.
You might be able to catch line drive.
Yeah, no glove and everything.
1 ball and 1 strike on Luke Costello. Next pitch. Fastball grounded up the middle past the diving Smolinski. And the leadoff man is aboard for the 2nd time today. It's Costello with the single to start off the 4th.
Yeah, this is a sight for sore Braves fans' eyes here as Costello has been a little bit quiet in the latter end of the playoffs. And, you know, the power has kind of tailed off, and it has come in and out, you know, at the end of the season, start of the playoffs. But the fact that he just continues to get on base just adding to his really good resume this summer.
Just his second hit of the championship series. It comes out of big time, trailing 2-1 in the top of the fourth. He represents the tying run. First pitch to Max Farrell's grounded over to third. Peltier gets it, goes to second. Relay throw is not in time. The Mariners wanted to go 5-4-3, but Curlin's throw to O'Leary just a tad bit late, and Max Farrell is aboard with the fielder's choice. We'll see Steve Engler walk onto the diamond. He wants to talk things over with second base umpire Jeffrey Merzel to talk about this play. And I believe this is about how Smolinski had to kind of duck away from the slide of Luke Costello. He came in really hard. The argument's over quickly, but you always have to be careful as a runner there to not interfere on the relay throw.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really come across this summer on any of our broadcasts, but that was a hard slide, and a nice job by Smolinski avoiding it.
Now it's the left-handed Matt Bolton at the plate. Takes the first pitch off speed for a strike to the outer third, and it's an 0-1 count. Colin LaBelle's been really confident with his off-speed early on in counts against the lefties tonight, and he starts it off with an 0-1 count against Bolton. Next pitch. Fastball clubbed foul to the left side. Find some fans at a packed Whitehouse field. There's over 6,000 fans for Game 2 of this series, 4,500 for Game 1. So 5 digits of fans who have attended this series. 0-2, change up down low, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bolton. You see fans just about everywhere. They've packed every single seat. Even in the outfield, the grassy areas are full. LaBelle set at his belt, the 1-2. Dribbled back our way, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Max Farrell at first base, 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. The Bourne Braves trailing 2-1 in Game 3 of this Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. A win for Bourne. They'll have 4 titles in 5 years. They'll have to do it in comeback fashion. 1-2, bounced over the second base. Curlin gets it, scoops for 1. The relay throw is not in time. Second time this inning that the Harwich Mariners come oh so close to a double play. This time Smolinski can't find the throw to O'Leary.
I thought this one was going to be 2, and that was a quick safe call from the Robert Curley Clement Umpire of the Year, Brendan Murphy, over at first. But good work there from Bolton, just forcing another fielder's choice and keeping Bourne in this inning.
Back-to-back fielder's choices. Matt Bolton now takes over for Farrell at first. Ryan Pikatowski, first pitch, slider outside, and it's a 1-0 count. Some bullpen work beginning for this Mariners team. Andrew Bissell, the right-hander out of Northeastern. LaBelle's worked solidly through 3 innings. His pickoff attempt to first not in time. Gave up 1 run. It came in the second. Max Farrell singled and came all the way around to score on RBI hit by Justin Osterhaus. Another pickoff attempt. Bolton back in safely. This is a Braves team that, especially at the top half of the order, everyone is a stolen bag threat. Bolton included in that mix. The 1-0. Slider, swing and a miss. Pikatowski tried to chase it outside, and the count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. The lights taking full effect here at Whitehouse Field for this late evening affair. 1-1. Swing and a bouncing ball over the short. Smolinski grabs it, flips to second in time, and the 6-4 fielder's choice brings the top of the 4th to a close. A leadoff single for Luke Costello, but then 3 straight fielder's choices, and the Braves can't plate a runner in the 4th. They still trail 2-1. We'll play to the bottom of the 4th. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series on Cape League TV. A new man on the mound for the Bourne Braves as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning at Whitehouse Field. 2-1. Harwich leads over Bourne in Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. It's Ben Dean, the right-hander out of Duke, making his second appearance of the postseason. Daniel, what should we know about Dean?
Well, Ben Dean is a guy who's a polished summer ball performer. He was pretty good last season with the Keene Swamp Bats in the NECBL, and he pitched very well in his playoff start against Falmouth. He was not the winning pitcher in that game, but still ended up pitching very well against the tough Commodores lineup. He's going to bring a lot of velocity and that really tough breaking ball as well that he throws hard.
He goes against J.P. Peltier, the right-handed third baseman, to begin the bottom of the 4th. Righty-righty matchup. Dean set at his belt, fires the first pitch. Peltier shows bunt, lays it perfectly down the third base line. Dean gobbles, throws to first, not in time. Peltier shows off the wheels to begin the bottom of the 4th inning, and the day for Dean starts tough with an infield single.
The left fielder,
I think Dean played
Oregon,
this ball about
6,
as well as he could. He
Jackson.
came off the mound. That was his ball. He took it and fired a fastball over to Max Farrell and just missed out on it by a step. But this is the kind of game we're getting, Alex. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of balls deep in the left field or anywhere in the outfield yet, so these two teams resorting to small ball.
Brings Braden Jackson to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Jackson takes it high and inside, has to turn away from the 93-mile-per-hour heater, and it's a 1-0 count. Dean, a native of Swansea, New Hampshire, has a big pitcher's frame, 6'3", 220. He readies and 1-0. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Jackson, who's up to bat for the second time today. He lined a scorcher to third base, but a nice play by Austin Hawk rendered him out in the second. 2 balls and no strikes. J.P. Peltier at first. No outs in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-0. Fastball called for a strike down the heart of the zone, and it's a 2-1 count. Dean, no stranger to the big moments in the postseason. He's found himself in plenty of big spots in his young baseball career. Pickoff attempt to first, Peltier back in time. A 3-time state champion in New Hampshire, growing up in Swansea. A really good high school career, and then has parlayed it into success with Duke. 2-1 pitch. Jackson pops it up behind home plate, out of play. And then last season, Dean went to the NECBL, and with the Keene Swamp Bats, he was the closer in the championship game as Keene won the NECBL title. So he has lots of summer ball postseason experience. He's making his second appearance of the Cape League playoffs and trying to keep this at a 2-1 deficit. There is a runner aboard, J.P. Peltier at first. A 2-2 count on Jackson. Dean fires. Slider misses high and inside, and it's a full count on the right-hander out of Oregon. Jackson's had a solid series thus far, 2 for 7. Can he render a third hit here? Here's the payoff pitch. Jackson swings, bounces it towards the dugout on Harwich's side, and the count stays full. Jackson had an RBI single in game 1 of this series. He drove in the first run for either team in this best-of-3 sets. He'd love to do so again here. Dean ready, and another payoff. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw down to second is in time. Jeffrey Merzell needed to see the ball, and he says that J.P. Peltier was off the bag. Steve Engler immediately walks out of his dugout. He wants to hear the explanation from the second base umpire. But as of now, it's a double play. Strikeout, throw out at second on the stolen base. And it would be bases empty, 2 away. A quick conversation between Engler and Merzell. everyone returns to their post, and that's a big momentum booster for this Bourne team.
It certainly is, and Peltier is a really good base stealer, and he has been all summer, but Bryce Estep has come to play today. Man, that's 2 throws that have been perfect from him.
He caught Cade Kurland in the first. First pitch, slider, check swing, and Tucker Stockman holds off. A 1-0 count on the right-handed hitter out of Southern Mississippi. Two away, a 2-1 lead for Harwich in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch, slider dips into the zone, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Dean's been equally using his fastball and his off speeds thus far. He breathes and the 1-1. Fastball down in the dirt, trickles through the legs of Estep, and at the 2-1 count.
I think if you're Bourne, I mean, you're down 2-1, but I think you have to like this pitching situation you're in. Baird gave you 3 good innings of 2-run ball. Now you have Dean, a guy who's playing on good rest and could go another couple.
2-1 pitch. Slider down low. Well, it was kind of a dream situation for Scott Landers. You have Tyler Baird, who was a part of the USA Collegiate National Team training camp, available to start this game. Then you have Ben Dean out of the bullpen. He was a Cape League All-Star as he twirls the 3-1. Fastball high. It's a 5-pitch walk to Tucker Stockman, and there's 1 on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. And you still have another All-Star in the bullpen in Jackson Kircher. So you felt comfortable going away from Baird despite just the 1-run deficit because of how much depth you have behind him.
Yeah, I mean, if Dean can just match his innings pitch total from the Falmouth game, if he can go 4 and you bring in Kircher, who's on good rest, to do the final 2, I mean, that's pretty good game. That's not pretty good. That's about as best case scenario as you can ask for here. But now that's the first walk that Dean's given up. He didn't have any of them in his start against the Commodores, so just a little bit different competition here.
He goes against the lefty Paul Jones. Dean ready, the first pitch. Swing and a miss. The slider inside gets the left-handed hitter, and it's an 0-1 count on Paul Jones. It's been a rough postseason for the transfer portal commit to Kansas State. So he stands in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Change up down low. Jones can't dig it out, and it's an 0-2 count. 0 for his last 9, dating back to Game 2 against YD in the East Division Finals. Can Paul Jones break through here? Down in the count, 0-2. Runner at first, the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Jones whiffs at 3 straight. He's down on strikes, and Dean gets out of it in the bottom of the 4th. The leadoff single for J.P. Peltier, but the inning ends scoreless for the Mariners. They still lead 2-1 as we go to the 5th. It's Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series right here on Cape League TV. We go to the 5th inning at Whitehouse Field, Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series, and the Harwich Mariners a 2-1 lead over the Bourne Braves. Welcome back, Diamond Side, alongside Daniel Stein. I'm Alex Burstein. Harwich's pitching has done really good so far, and it will still be the right-hander Colin LaBelle on to face off against 7, 8, and 9 for this Bravos offense in the top of the 5th.
Top of the 5th inning for the Braves. The left
So the
fielder
deciding
from
game,
Alabama,
winner takes home the Mycock
Justin
Trophy for the
Osterhaus.
2026 season. They split the first 2 games to set up this decisive Game 3. Lefty Justin Osterhaus at the plate. First pitch. Slider misses inside, and it's a 1-0 count on the Alabama left fielder. Osterhaus recorded his first hit of the series back in the 2nd. 1-0 pitch. Down low and inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Osterhaus. An RBI single for Osterhaus scored Max Farrell, the lone run for the Braves. Here's the 2-0. Fastball fouled down the first base line, and it's a 2-1 count. Are you surprised to see LaBelle back here in the 4th? Or 5th, I should say?
A little bit, but you consider that it's Game 3, and Harwich used a good amount of pitchers yesterday. Might as well just keep riding them.
2-1 inside. Osterhaus dodges out of the way, and it's a 3-1 count. So we're seeing some troubles for LaBelle against the lefty as a collision between the Bat Boys right behind home plate. That got the loudest pop from the crowd we've heard all night, and it's a 3-1 count on Osterhaus. Normalcy returns, and LaBelle fires. Slider inside, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Justin Osterhaus. Now the 3rd inning that the leadoff man has reached for the Braves. Can they do anything with it?
From Wake Forest.
Yeah, and I'm looking
9,
over at
Austin
Steve Englert.
Hawk.
He's not coming out, but this Harwich pen is definitely active. There's only one that's actively throwing right now. It's Owen Wheeler, but I still think the leash is a couple more batters here for LaBelle, who otherwise has been solid today.
Wheeler's only pitched the 3rd of an inning this postseason. First pitch, swing and a miss, runner goes, and the throw is in time. Osterhaus caught on a dime from Tucker Stockman, and there's 1 down in the top of the 5th. Osterhaus already had a successful stolen bag tonight, and the Braves want to parlay that into 2, but he's caught, and now an 0-1 count on Austin Hawk with the bases empty. Hawk 0 for 1 today, next pitch. Slider dips into the zone, and it's an 0-2 count. Kind of surprising to see Osterhaus run there.
Yeah, a little bit, especially with just how well Estep has thrown today, and now Stockman hoses him down. These catchers have come to play today.
No balls, 2 strikes on Hawk. The pitch. Slider check swing. He held off on the outside pitch. It's a 1-2 count. Bryce Estep, the aforementioned excellent defensive catcher for the Bourne Brave, on deck. 1-2. Slider grounded left side through. Hawk takes a wide turnaround first. He'll stretch for 2. Jackson gets it in left field. The throw comes in late, and that's a 1-out double for Austin Hawk. He just squeaks it by the diving glove of Peltier near the 3rd base bag, and that ball just kept on running down the left field line. And all of a sudden, the tying run in scoring position for the Braves.
It's a little bittersweet, and I don't think Osterhaus would have scored from first if Hawk had still had that double and he was still on the base paths. But this is kind of how this game has been played. All the hits have been on the margins. Nothing's been really hardly hit. Nothing's cleared the fence yet, but this is how you get back into it.
First pitch to Bryce Estep. The right-handed hitter takes a fastball at the bottom of the zone for a strike, and it's an 0-1 count on the catcher. 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to 3rd to start off the 3rd inning. He's down in the count 0-1. Big lead for Hawk. Next pitch. Fouled back, and the count 0-2. Well, the good news for the Braves is you have the top of the order waiting on deck. Riker Waite, the Vanderbilt shortstop, taking his warm-up swings, but you'd rather do it with 1 out, not 2. The 0-2, the E-step. Slider, cold, strike 3 down the heart of the zone. E-step frozen on the off-speed, and there's 2 down in the top of the 5th. Still a runner at second base in Hawk.
Yeah, only LaBelle's second strikeout of the night so far, and this is just kind of eerily similar to what Brian Matishat did last night. Not a guy who struck out a lot, and LaBelle's walking a little bit more than Matishat did, but they're avoiding the barrel, and the only contact they allow is weak.
First pitch to Riker Waite. Slider clips the inner third, and it's a 0-1 count. Waite, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He singled against LaBelle back in the first inning. Runner at second, a 2-1 Mariners lead. Next pitch, fastball bounced over the second. Curlin charges in, gets it, and throws to first in time. And the side retired in the top of the 5th. A 1-out double for Austin Hawk. He can't advance any further, and it's still a 2-1 Mariners lead as we turn to the bottom of the 5th. Ben Dean back on the mound for Bourne after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Cape League Baseball on Cape League TV. Ben Dean goes against the top of the Mariners order as we play on to the bottom of the 5th in the decisive Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series at Whitehouse Field. Alongside Daniel Stein, I'm Alex Burstein. Dean pitched solidly in the 4th, but now he's dealt a tough hand with 1, 2, and 3 in his second inning of relief.
Yeah, and as you would expect, this has been the part of the Harwich order that has been toughest today. You have Larson, who has a double. Ty Smolinski is due up third. He's got a couple of hits, including an RBI today. But, I mean, this is fire versus fire. This is what you want at a Game 3 of the championship. I mean, this is great pitcher versus great hitter.
We've seen 11 combined hits, just 3 combined runs between the 2 championship teams. Righty-lefty with Larson at the plate. Dean ready, his first pitch. Fastball clubbed foul to the left side. Escapes over the towering light poles down the left field line. It's an 0-1 count. The lights blaring onto the playing surface here at Whitehouse Field as we approach 8 p.m. local time. The 0-1. Looping curveball misses outside, and the count evens out at 1 apiece. It doesn't help that it's mostly overcast skies, but it's getting darker earlier than usual here in Harwich in the dog days of the summer. Dean ready, his 1-1. Slider misses down low, escapes away from E-step, but he stays put with no runners on, and it's a hitter's count, 2 balls and a strike on Larson.
It's really what makes Larson a tough hitter to face, because if he gets a fastball in the zone, he almost always swings. But Dean has thrown a couple of curveballs closer than others to the zone, but he just has laid off.
Next pitch. Larson swings at the fastest ball, bloops it out to right field, and it drops down for a base hit. Larson has his second base knock today, and the leadoff man aboard for the Mariners in the bottom of the 5th.
The right fielder.
And again, this is just how this game has been played today. Harwich has a couple of, as more hits than Bourne. I mean, that's their 7th of the game, 12 combined between these two teams. And I would argue that probably maybe only a quarter of them have been really solidly hit. This one is in on the hands, but Larson's just able to get enough of it to get it over the glove of Rigdon.
So 1 on for the left-handed hitting Nico Brini. First pitch, he shows bunt, takes it away, but it's a called strike to the bottom part of the zone, and an 0-1 count on Brini. Brini's had a big day today, 1 for 2, a single and a run in the first. He's really come along in this championship set for the Mariners. Pickoff attempt to first, Larson back in time. After an 0-for-4 start in Game 1. Last night, Brini was all the difference in a Game 2 necessary win for the Mariners. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He shows bunt again, takes it away on a pitch in the dirt, and the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Brini scored the only run in a 1-0 Harwich Game 2 victory that kept the series going to Game 3 tonight here at Whitehouse Field. He also made an insane diving grab last night in right. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt again, lays it down perfectly in front of home plate. Estep gets it, throws to first in time, but it advances Colin Larson into scoring position. The speedster stands at second base. And now Scott Landers immediately comes out to talk things over.
I'm not exactly sure what he's mad about. Could it be interference? Is that what he's asking for? He's pointing at the baseline.
Landers is a vocal coach, and now all 4 of the umpires tonight will come around to talk things over. It seemed like a pretty routine bunt right in front of home plate. Estep played it perfectly, got the out at first while Larson ran to second base. Mike Hinojosa, the home plate umpire tonight, had the best view of the play. Brendan Murphy at first also was pretty close to the action. And we'll see if Landers' argument has any merits to it. As things stand, there's 1 away with a runner at second base for Harwich. A 2-1 lead for the Mariners in Game 3 of this championship set. A long conversation between the 4 umps tonight. Our first true review-like situation.
This was just good baseball all around. Brini laid down a good bunt, but Estep did everything correctly. He called off Dean, put the hand up, picked it up, and then threw over, got Brini by multiple steps. I'm not really sure what this could be about, other than the fact that maybe Landers is thinking about an interference call here, but either way, the runner was out, so
yeah,
why would it
I don't
matter?
know if it would affect Larson at second. And now we'll see everyone break up, and the call stands. Hinojosa says that Larson is safe at second, and Brini is out at first. Scott Landers is still visibly upset, yelling at Brendan Murphy, the first base umpire. This is some of the more vocal appearance we've seen out of the headman for Bourne this postseason, but we'll return to action with 1 away and a runner at second for Ty Smolinski. Righty-lefty matchup. Dean resets and throws home. Slider swing to miss. Got him in the dirt, and it's an 0-1 count. Home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa is yelling over at Scott Landers, who is still talking with Brendan Murphy. And Hinojosa, I think, might give a warning here to the Bourne dugout. He has stepped out of his usual spot behind home plate and is writing something in his notebook.
I think Brendan Murphy warned him, but I mean, this is far too big of a game to be even thinking about getting tossed here if you're Landers. I still don't know what he's complaining about.
It's also the Bourne bullpen, because second base umpire Jeffrey Merzell has walked out of his position and is yelling down the right field line to where the pitchers are sitting for Bourne. So this Bourne team getting antsy. They're trailing 2-1 in the biggest game of the season, do or die game 3, and now a bench warning has been assessed. It's still an 0-1 count on Ty Smolinski. And now ready for the next pitch. Misses outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're Ben Dean right now, this is the last thing you want. You've come in for your second inning of relief, gave off a leadoff single, but then worked a nice out on the bunt, and now your teammates and your coaching staff are slowing stuff down. Here's the 1-1. Slider down low, and it's a 2-1 count.
And now, after all of that wait, you have to hit against the best hitter, not only in the Harwich lineup, but probably in the league this summer in Ty Smolinski, who's already has 2 hits today.
Single in the first, and RBI single in the third. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dean comes home. Bounces in the dirt off the equipment of E-Step. Larson runs to third. There's no throw. The wild pitch from Ben Dean, and now some insurance for the Mariners, is 90 feet from home. Dean has been missing low a lot. That one missed the home plate area entirely. It bounced in front of the plate. Estep had nothing to do with it. And now it's a 3-ball, 1 strike count on Smolinski, and Larson, the speedster, is at third base. Dean sets and fires. Looping curveball called for a strike to the outer third. Smolinski's had a big series. He had 2 hits last night, already 2 tonight. What does he have here? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. It bounces in the dirt. E-Step picks it up, throws to first in time, and that's a big out number 2 for this Braves team. Dean just got in to chase down low.
The second baseman from LSU.
Yeah, this is a really good pitch,
11,
and this is what Dean does well.
Curlin.
And how you pitch to a guy like Smolinski instead of somebody like Larson. Smolinski is going to hit for more power, so he's going to be more susceptible to swinging at those balls down in the dirt, and Dean gets him. You're not out of the woods yet, but that's a big sigh of relief now with 2 outs.
Colin Larson is still at third. Cade Curlin at the plate. Righty-righty matchup, first pitch. Curveball called for a strike down the middle of the zone. It's an 0-1 count. Curlin started off the scoring in the first inning with an RBI single to plate Nico Brini. Can he add another here? The 0-1. Curlin swings at the fastball and dribbles it foul down the third base line. 95 miles per hour, that last pitch from Dean. He is picking up his velocity, and he finds himself 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with a runner in scoring position. Curlin's been one of the most productive offensive players in this postseason. Does he have another big hit here? The 0-2. Curveball popped up shallow left field. Wait, the shortstop backtracks, but it's the left fielder Osterhaus who makes the grab for out number 3. A leadoff single for Colin Larson. He gets all the way around to third base, but is stranded there. Ben Dean works out of the jam, and it's still a 2-1 Harwich lead as we play to inning 6. A fun one here in Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Postseason Baseball on Cape League TV. We play on to inning 6 at Whitehouse Field, the decisive Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. It's a 2-1 lead for Harwich over Bourne as the Braves go to bat, facing one, and they'll do so against a new man on the mound in Christian Rodriguez, the redshirt sophomore out of Florida, making his second appearance of the postseason. He'll begin the day against the switch-hitting Rustin Rigdon, who bats from the left side. Rodriguez relieves Colin LaBelle, who went 5 innings. First pitch from the righty. Fastball down low. It's a 1-0 count. Daniel, what should we know about Rodriguez?
Well, just off that first pitch coming in at 95, this is going to be an approach difference. Now, Rodriguez is throwing significantly harder, but that ERA has been a little bit high at over 12.
1-0. Fastball nicks the inside corner, and it's a 1-1 count.
I mean, if you're Rustin Rigdon, you got to kind of switch into conference hitting mode here, because this is a guy who comes from an elite Florida program where he's pitched almost 25 innings.
Here's the 1-1. Rigdon shows bunt, can't take it away, and it's a 1-2 count. The veteran second baseman out of Vanderbilt wanted to bunt his way onto first base. He kind of ran through with the swing, and it's a 1-2. Rodriguez turns and fires home. Check swing on the fastball. He went around, dropped third strike from Stockman. He heaves to first in time. And a nice first batter face for Christian Rodriguez. There's one down to begin inning 6.
From South Carolina,
yeah, that was an
38,
uncharacteristically
Papillo.
poor at-bat from Rustin Rigdon, who normally has a pretty good eye, is able to be patient, but couldn't quite pick out the movement from Rodriguez. He's throwing a couple different fastballs. It looked like that second one was a sinker, and it's all coming out of that same arm slot.
Righty-righty matchup with Luke Costello. First pitch. Costello takes the off-speed to the outer third for a strike, and it's a 0-1 count. Rodriguez making his second appearance of the postseason. He already picked up a win in Game 1 of the East Finals. 0-1. Slider popped into shallow left field. The center fielder Larson runs over, but it's the left fielder Jaxa who gets under it and makes the grab for out 2. So 2 up, 2 down to start off the day for Christian Rodriguez. And this is just what he did against the YD Red Sox in that first appearance. Went 3 innings, did not give up a hit, did not give up a run. The control off and on, he had 3 walks, but nestled it with 4 strikeouts as well. He has just been dominant for this Mariners team when they need him the most. And this definitely qualifies as a spot where they need him the most, up 2-1 in Game 3 of the final game of the season. Max Farrell at the plate. First pitch. Fastball misses low, and it's a 1-0 count. Righty-righty matchup with Farrell. He's had a productive day. A single and a run in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Rodriguez turns and fires. 1-0 fastball misses outside, and it's a 2-0 count. Rodriguez was sparingly used at Florida this past year, his 3rd season with the Gators. Only made 3 appearances. He fires the 2-0. Fastball popped high in the air out to right field. Brini takes a few steps back, looks up, and makes the grab above his hat for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Christian Rodriguez in his second appearance of the Cape League postseason. He keeps the Mariners ahead 2-1 as we play on to the bottom of the 6th inning at Whitehouse Field. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape League postseason on Cape League TV. It's a defensive duel in Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. 2-1, the Mariners lead the Bourne Braves as Harwich goes back-to-bat in the bottom of the 6th. They'll do so still against Ben Dean, the strong right-hander out of Duke, who has been clean through 3 innings of work. Dean goes against 5, 6, and 7 for the Mariners, beginning with Sean O'Leary, the left-handed first baseman out of UMass
first
Lowell.
baseman from UMass Lowell, number 18.
Dean has gotten
Sean
himself into
O'Leary.
a couple of situations so far. Gave up a single in the 4th and the 6th, or 5th, I should say. But both times did not give up a run. Righty-lefty with Sean O'Leary. Dean ready his first pitch. Fastball all the way for a strike to the outer third, and it's an 0-1 count. We've seen slow strike calls from Mike Hinojosa tonight. Sometimes you have to wait a second and say, did my eyes just trick me? No balls and a strike on O'Leary. The next pitch. Slider misses down low, and it's a 1-1 count. Dean has a heater that reaches into the mid-90s, and his off-speed usually dips down to about 80 or 81. It's a big difference for batters. 1-1. Off-speed catches the outer third, and it's a 2-1 count. 1-2 count. Bases empty, no outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Harwich wants some insurance. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swing and a miss down in the dirt, and it's a 1-2. It's a strikeout to begin the bottom of the 6th. O'Leary down on strikes, and Dean continues to deal.
The third baseman from
This guy's
Kentucky,
gross, man.
number
Like, there's really
13,
no other
JP
way to put
Peltier.
it. When he throws that slider or takes more off it with the breaking ball in the dirt, it looks like a waste pitch from where we're standing, but when you're in that batter's box, it's coming in so quickly that you just don't have time to decide whether it's going to go down below the zone or not.
First pitch to J.P. Peltier. Curveball misses high, and it's a 1-0 count. So far, 2 hits against Dean, 3 strikeouts, now 4 after ringing up Sean O'Leary. Here's the 1-0 to Peltier. Fastball high, he checked his swing. First base umpire Brendan Murphy says he held off. All the runs came early in this one. Harwich took the lead in the bottom of the 1st inning on an RBI single from Cade Kurland. Bourne had its response in the next half inning before Harwich took back the lead. 2-0. Fastball foul tip into the glove of Estep. Dean's had a lot of luck with his heater thus far. Still finds himself down in the count 2-1. Defense played straight up for the Braves. 2-1. Slider outside. And a patient Peltier now ahead in the count 3-1. Peltier's been a power guy this postseason for the Mariners. 3-1 pitch. Fastball called for a strike down the outer edge, and it's a full count. 97 miles per hour. That might be the fastest pitch we've seen from Dean tonight. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on the righty. Pair of home runs for Peltier in the opening 2 rounds. Doesn't have an extra base hit in the championship set. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball popped high in the air, foul to the right side, and the count stays full.
Yeah, I mean, Dean is ticking up in velocity at the right time. I mean, this is a guy who has starter capabilities, and to have this out of your bullpen in a winner-take-all game, it's just a luxury for Bourne.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Dean looks in for the side, now ready for another payoff pitch. On its way. Curveball bounced over the short. It's the third baseman, Hawk, who gets it, whips it to first, not in time. Farrell had to slide off the bag, and the throw was late on just a slow-moving bouncer, and it's hard to beat J.P. Peltier. There's one on with one away for the Mariners here as they continue to just do the little things right.
Yeah, there's not that many third
Oregon,
basemen
number
that are
6,
faster
Brady
than Peltier, and this is a tough play. Maybe if Hawk got a bit better of a jump, he might have been able to get him, but it was just hit in a very strange spot in the infield, and that's definitely not Waite's ball. So either way, Peltier has just done his job today, a couple infield singles.
Hawk double clutched it, and that was the difference. Brian Jackson at the plate. First pitch, changeup called for a strike at the knees. And it's a 0-1 count on the hard-hitting righty out of Oregon. Jackson had 2 hits in this series entering today. He's 0 for 2 with a lineout and a strikeout. Can he change that here? Here's the 0-1. Fastball lined up the middle for a base hit. Peltier storms around second. He's trying for third. Bolton's throw is late. And there's runners on the corner with 1 away. Jackson just stinged it over the heads of both of the middle infielders.
The catcher
and
from
now
Southern
you're really
number
threatening
36,
for some insurance.
Tucker
Jackson
Stockman.
at first, Peltier at third. And Dean now has to face another heavy hitter in Tucker Stockman.
There's a reason why Jackson's a freshman All-American. He's a big kid, but he gets a ball in the middle, is able to lower his barrel and put it out opposite way. Very nicely done.
Righty, first pitch. Stockman shows bunt, pulls it away on the changeup low, and it's a 1-0 count. Third baseman Austin Hawk playing in on the grass. Max Farrell can't do so. The first baseman has to check Jackson at the bag. 1-0 the count on Stockman. Next pitch. Popped in the air on the bunt. It goes foul to the left side. Well, that's the ball that you dream of as a catcher because Stockman got under it and Estep could have had a play on it, but it goes a little too far left of home plate, and it's a 1-1 count.
Yeah, you don't get that many opportunities against a good small ball team like Harwich, but the solace is that Stockman is not really comfortable with bunting that much, and he's going to get a talking to here as he'll call for time by one of the assistant coaches here for Harwich.
Mark Thibault, the third base coach for the Harwich Mariners, talks things over. Stockman walked in the fourth. He flew out to center field in the second inning. Can he provide a crucial base knock to open this one up in the bottom of the sixth? Runners at first and third, 1 away in game 3 of this championship set. He shows bunt, first a pickoff attempt, not in time, back to first. Jackson dives in safely. We haven't seen Jackson make a move to second just yet. Stockman shows bunt, the 1-1. Misses low. Ball trickles away from Estep, and it's a 2-1 count.
I mean, Max Farrell at first is doing the full vintage Anthony Rizzo, running in past the pitcher's mound in anticipation of a potential squeeze play. This Bourne defense is going to do everything it can to try to get Peltier coming home.
When your offense hasn't been working, you want to keep this at a 1-run deficit. Pickoff attempt to first. Jackson back. Stockman, for a majority of this postseason, has been going every other game as the catcher for this Mariners team. He's catching back-to-back days. Another pickoff attempt. Jackson back. Dean has gone almost 3 innings out of the pen for this Bourne team, trying to stay scoreless. Here's the 2-1. Stockman bunts it foul behind home plate.
Well, now this is a situation here where I think you got to swing the bat if you're Stockman. You're already a position that's not necessarily comfortable with bunting. 2 strikes. I think you just got to let it rip here.
Runners at first and third. Harwich leads 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th, threatening to add some. 2-2, the count on Stockman, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Change up, blasted out to right center field, dropping fast. It's fair for a base hit. 1 run already into score. Jackson holds at third. And Tucker Stockman, his first hit of the championship series, as big as it'll get. "3-1, Harwich leads."
The designated hitter from Kansas
And
State,
it's Harwich's
number 31,
game to win now in the
Jones.
bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, that marks 10 hits for Harwich here tonight, and Stockman picks the absolute best time to get his first postseason RBI. Just pokes it into right field, gets a key insurance run.
Lefty Paul Jones at the plate, still runners on the corners. The pitch, fastball left high, and it's a 1-0 count. This inning started with a strikeout to Sean O'Leary. It seemed like Ben Dean still had that juice in him on the mound, but he slowed down ever since. 1-0 pitch. Fastball fouled back, and the count goes 1-1. Since that strikeout, a single to J.P. Peltier, a single to Braden Jackson, and a single to Tucker Stockman. The Braves now trail 3-1. They only have 9 outs to work with offensively to score at least 2 now. Dean's 1-1. Fastball down low. E-step stays in front of it. Well, Jackson Kircher is warming up in a hurry in the Bourne bullpen right now. But right now the trust is still in Dean despite the Mariners teeing off on him here in the 6th. Their first run since the 3rd inning. Their first run for either team since the 3rd inning. 2-1 the count on Jones. The pitch. Fastball popped up, shallow center field, dropping quickly. It's down for a base hit. Jackson jogs home the score. The small ball continues. 4 straight singles for Harwich, and it's a 4-1 lead.
Well, this is what makes Harwich a dangerous offensive team. Paul Jones is not even a contact guy. He's a power bat, but anything you can do to get the ball in the outfield, that's been the name of the game. There hasn't been any ball, with the exception of the Colin Larson double, that's been hardly hit in this game, and it's frustrating for Bourne, but Harwich has just found the grass, and Bourne has it, and that's why they're up by 3 runs.
First multi-run inning of the day for either team as Scott Landers walks out to the mound to talk things over with the righty Ben Dean. He hasn't yet made the call to the pen. Jackson Kircher is still warming up, so this may be a situation where he just wants to calm down his reliever. Lander does both the pitching changes and the mound visits for this Bourne team, and Dean is staying in the game. So despite 4 straight singles, he will be trusted to face off against now the top of the order as Colin Larson, who's had a solid day, 2 for 3
Number
with a
4,
double and a run, comes
Larson
to the plate.
I mean, this is a big, big call in this game. I'm assuming they're playing the role that Kircher is not ready to go in, which is understandable, but Larson's already tagged Dean for a hit today. I mean, this is a big decision here from Landers to keep him in.
He singled in the 5th, was stranded at 3rd. First pitch to the lefty. Change up at the knees for a strike. It's an 0-1 count. Tucker Stockman stands at second base. Paul Jones, after that blooping single to center field, is at first. That was his first hit of the championship set. Here's the 0-1. Fastball bounced to first base, backhanded by Farrell. He goes to second to get 1 out. And the 3-6 putout means there's runners on the corners again, with 2 away now in the bottom of the 6th.
The right fielder from
Definitely
Vanderbilt,
a risky play
number
from
21,
Farrell at first, and
Nico
he fielded that
Breen.
ball off balance, still made the decision to try to get that runner going to second, which he does. Any way you can get an out at this point, you still have to deal with Breeny, who's been productive in every plate appearance.
Tucker Stockman is at third base. Colin Larson takes over for Paul Jones at first. The lefty Breeny, a single and a run today. First pitch. Change up, called for a strike down the inner third, and it's a 0-1 count. Right-handed Jackson Kircher still warming up in the bullpen. Arkansas Razorback has been one of the top bullpen guys for Bourne all season long. No balls and a strike on Nico Brini. Next pitch. He shows bunt, pops it high in the air over the press box. And it's an 0-2 count. That's what happens when you get under a 92-mile-per-hour fastball with the bunt. So Dean, 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Already 2 runs across home plate for the Mariners, who now lead 4-1 and are 9 outs away from a championship win in Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Larson dives back safely. Larson's on the base path for the 3rd time today. Not what you want to do with one of the fastest runners in the league if you're Bourne. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 away. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Changeup. Swing and a foul tip. Brini just got a tiny piece of it to stay alive.
I'm not really sure what Mike Hinojosa was doing behind home plate, because that was not a clear foul ball, and he didn't signal for it. Instead, he just picked up the ball, picked up a new ball, and then gave it to Estep. But either way, Brini gets back in the box.
So the count stays 0-2 on the lefty. Another 0-2. Runner goes. Fastball outside. Estep throws down the second, and they get Larson in time. 3rd runner caught stealing by Bryce Estep today, but the damage done for the Mariners in the bottom of inning 6. 2 runs off of 4 base hits and 1 runner stranded. It's now a 4-1 Harwich lead as we play on to the 7th. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series right here on Cape League TV. Bourne chasing 3 as we begin the 7th inning at Whitehouse Field. Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. A winner takes all matchup, and so far it's been the Harwich Mariners in control. The bats starting to warm up, and the pitching has been great as Christian Rodriguez stays in for a 2nd inning of work against 5, 6, and 7 for the Bourne Braves. It'll be the left-handed hitting Matt Bolton to begin the 7th. Bourne has just 1 run today. It came in the 2nd. They found 5 base hits with only 1 run off of it. First pitch from the righty. Fastball zips outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes on Matt Bolton. This offense needs to wake up quickly if you're Bourne. Just 9 outs to work with. They need at least 3 runs. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. The off-speed inside gets Bolton, and it's a 1-1 count on the lefty. A win for Harwich, and they'll have 2 titles in 3 years, chasing a dynasty. Here's the 1-1. Changeup misses outdoors. Now, we've had this debate. I say you need at least 3 titles to be considered a dynasty, but they're certainly on the door of it. Here's the 2-1. Bolton takes the outside slider for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, this would be, if Harwich is able to hold on, it'd be the 4th title of the Englert era, which is pretty long, though. He's been here over 20 years.
Maybe a coaching dynasty. 2-2. Fastball inside, and it's a full count on Matt Bolton. The Bourne Braves, certainly a dynasty. They've already won 3 titles this decade, seeking a 4th in 5 years, but they'll have to come from behind to do it. Payoff pitch to Bolton. Fastball launched into right field. Breeny back on the track. He looks up, and it bounces off the wall. Speedy Bolton stops at second. And a leadoff extra base hit for the Braves in the top of the 7th. That's just what they needed. Runner at second base with no outs for Bourne here in inning 7.
Well, Matt Bolton, who's been slow in the playoffs, reminded everyone why he was a phenomenal player at Binghamton. He gets a pitch low and inside in the zone and just golfs it. Comes a little bit close to hitting a home run, but he's not complaining. He's standing on second. Bourne is only down by 3. Think of how good this offense is here.
Righty Ryan Pikatowski at the plate. First pitch. Takes the fastball to the outer third for a strike, and it's an 0-1 count. That was the first hit for Bolton since game 1 of this championship series. He went 0 for 4 yesterday, started out today 0 for 2. The 0-1 to Pikatowski is on its way. Change up, nicks the outer third, and it's an 0-2 count. Pikatowski still searching for his first hit of the championship series. He did not play in games 1 or 2. He hadn't played in the last 3 games for Bourne until today. The 0-2 misses outside, and the count 1-2. Good job by Stockman to pick that one out from the other batter's box and keep Bolton at second base, who, as we've mentioned, has a lot of speed and would certainly be a threat for third.
Yeah, that was a free-tailing slider that Stockman had to field on the bounce, but he did so cleanly. Keeps Bolton at second.
1 ball and 2 strikes on the JUCO All-American. Next pitch. Misses high and inside. Pikatowski had to lean away to avoid getting hit near the face, and the count runs even. Pikatowski was unstoppable with South Carolina Sumter this past spring. Hit over 400. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball inside, can't be caught by Pikatowski. He's down on strikes. And there's one away. Bolton still stands at second base.
Left fielder from Alabama.
Just blew it by him. And Pikatowski is going to have to hit a fastball a lot harder than that at West Virginia, as Rodriguez hits 92, just wasn't ready for it. Goes down via the K.
Brings the left-handed hitter Justin Osterhaus to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. Bolton still off second. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. Osterhaus has the lone RBI today for Bourne. RBI single through the left side to score Max Farrell back in the second. Can he deliver again here? 1-0. Changeup misses outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on the lefty. It's been a quiet championship set for Osterhaus. He went 0 for 2 in game 1, 0 for 4 in game 2. Trying to make up for it tonight. Next pitch. Swings and laces it foul to the left side. Soaring out of play above the fans down the left field line. A packed house here at Whitehouse Field for the deciding game 3 of the championship set. It's the 47th game of the season for both Bourne and Harwich. It will be the final one who will end with the championship title. Rodriguez ready, his 2-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So, a walk to Justin Osterhaus, and you could be eyeing a tying run coming to home plate in Austin Hawk. It's 3 balls and a strike on the left fielder. He's already drawn a walk today. Pitch. Outside. A 5-pitch walk to Justin Osterhaus. There's runners at first and second. And some life injected into this Bourne Braves team, chasing 3 runs in the top of the 7th. A tying run comes to the plate in maybe the best postseason hitter across the league in Austin Hawk.
Yeah, we talked about how Osterhaus has struggled in the playoffs, but he's done his job today. He's got an RBI single and a couple walks to go along with it. And here we go. I mean, this game is not over. Hawk the tying run.
Righty, the first pitch. Fastball left high. 4 straight bowls thrown by Christian Rodriguez. He worked a 1-2-3 6th inning, and Steve Englert is going to briskly walk out to the mound to talk things over with Rodriguez. We have seen some movement in the bullpen for this Harwich team. Owen Wheeler, who started the warm-up then wasn't last inning, is now back throwing. And it looks like for now it'll just be a routine mound visit to talk things over with Rodriguez.
Yeah, this is not the time to pull him just yet because overall Rodriguez has been good. He's only surrendered his first hit and walk in this inning. But again, you have to be careful here, and that was a quick meeting. But again, a ground ball could potentially get you out of this.
Matt Bolton at second after his leadoff double. Justin Osterhaus is at first. There's one away in the top of the 7th. 4-1 Harwich leads. Winner takes the title. Rodriguez ready. He comes home. Fastball swing and a miss. Blew 94 miles per hour past the right-handed hitter. And there's that juice that Rodriguez wanted back. The mound visit works, and now the count even. Next pitch. Changeup called for a strike at the top of the zone. Hawk doubled in the 5th inning, the breakout of a slide. He was one of his last 12 before coming up with a key hit, but he was stranded at second base. Does he have another one in him? 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Fastball reaches outside, and it's a 2-2 count. So we're seeing Rodriguez really go into his heater here.
Yeah, he is definitely leaning on it. Apart from the previous pitch, which looked like a high changeup, I don't think Hawk was expecting that. I think he goes back to the heater here.
Sets at his belt, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Changeup got him. Rodriguez goes with the off speed, and there's 2 down with still 2 on for the Braves in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, so Hawk was cheating the heater, but this is just three-dimensional chess from Rodriguez, who goes with the changeup. He is throwing it in the zone. That is a hittable pitch, but when you're sitting on something that's 20 miles an hour harder, you're going to come up empty if you're a little bit early.
Right-handed hitting Bryce Estep comes to the plate, trying to break out of a massive slump. First pitch. Estep takes a changeup low and outside. It's a 1-0 count. For his last 10 at-bats. He did draw 3 walks during that time, but base hits have not been there for the future South Carolina Gamecock. 1-0. Fastball called for a strike down the heart of the zone, and it's a 1-1 count. Not the pitch that you want to take on.
Yeah, especially with Rodriguez, a guy who is mostly relying on that fastball. Sitting on a changeup that's got a lot of movement, not the best idea.
Runners at first and second, 2 away. Rodriguez comes home. Misses outside. Went with the changeup again, but Estep slowed the weight on it, and it's a 2-1 count. It's been a back and forth inning for Rodriguez. He gave up a double, then struck out Ryan Piketowski, then gave up a walk, then got another strikeout. 2-1, left high. 3 balls and a strike on Bryce Estep. A walk, and the bases are loaded. Matt Bolton at second base, Justin Osterhaus at first. It's a 4-1 Mariners lead, top of the 7th in Game 3 of this championship set. Here's the 3-1. Fastball swing and a miss, and the count is full. This time Estep went at the heater down the middle, but couldn't come up with it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 2 on for the Braves. Payoff pitch. Fastball down low.
Wow.
Tucker Stockman jumped up. He thought he was going to get to sprint to the dugout, but instead it's a borderline ball 4, And the bases are loaded for the Braves with the top of the order, Riker Waite coming to the plate.
Riker.
That looked pretty good to me, Alex. I think even some of the Bourne players thought that was a strike, but not a peep from Steve Englert in the dugout. And now you had the bases loaded for Waite. Oh, my goodness.
Righty-lefty matchup. Waite already a single today. Rodriguez winds and fires. First pitch, high and outside. Matt Bolton is at third. He started off the inning with a double. Osterhaus has got into second base after a walk. And Eastup is at first. We'll see another mound visit here to talk things over with the right-hander. And Steve Englert says the day is done for Christian Rodriguez.
Yeah, they had already brought out the pitching coach for his visit, and so it's a little unorthodox, but they're going to pull him in the middle of the at-bat, but you got to do what you got to do in Game 3.
After the break, it'll be a 1-0 count to Riker Waite with the bases loaded. Bourne chasing 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series right here on Cape League TV. The Bourne Braves threatening, bases loaded, trailing by 3 in the top of the 7th inning. 2 outs for Bourne and a new man on the mound for Harwich as Owen Wheeler, the right-hander out of Maine, makes his second appearance of the postseason, and he'll do so against the switch-hitting Riker Waite. Already a 1-0 count the next pitch. Fastball down low. So Christian Rodriguez exits the game after 1 2/3 innings pitched. He started this at-bat with a ball before Englert pulled him. The 2-0. Fastball misses outside, and it's a 3-0 count. Another walk, and that would bring home 1 run for Bourne. Trailing 4-1, bases loaded, 2 away. 3-0. Fastball called for strike to the outer third, and it's a 3-1 count. Whalers had limited postseason experience. He got the save in Game 1 of the East Finals. Here's the 3-1. Fastball outside and low. Free pass home for Matt Bolton on the RBI walk from Riker Waite, and it's 4-2. Bourne pulls within a pair. And another hard hitter in Rustin Rigdon coming to the plate.
Number 23, Rustin.
Yeah, that
Rigdon.
walk will officially be charged to Rodriguez, so he ends his outing with 3, but single ties it.
First pitch. Slider cuts into the outer third, and it's an 0-1 count. Still the bases loaded, 4-2 Harwich leads. 0-1. Fastball down low, and the count evens out at 1 apiece. Justin Osterhaus stands at third. Eastep at second, and Riker Waite holds down first. 1 ball and 1 strike on Rigdon. The pitch down in the dirt, bounces off of Stockman, then bounces off of the hitter in Rigdon and stays in front of home plate. A lucky break there for the Mariners.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it would have gotten that far away, but the guy at the plate has no obligation to get out of the way, and that's exactly what Rigdon did.
2 balls and a strike on the switch hitter batting from the left side. Here's the 2-1. Fastball dribbled foul to the left side. Probably would have dipped underneath the zone. Rigdon tried to dig it out, and now it's 2-2. 2 away. Runners at first, second, and third. Bourne trailing by 2 in the top of the 7th. Game 3 of this best-of-3 championship set. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rigdon chases the off-speed in the dirt. He's down on strikes, and Bourne leaves the bases loaded in the top of the 7th. They get 1, but that will sting. Still a 4-2 lead for Harwich as we reach stretch time here at Whitehouse Field. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape League postseason on Cape League TV. To the bottom of the 7th at Whitehouse Field, a 4-2 lead for the Harwich Mariners over the Bourne Braves, and winner-take-all Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship set. Thanks for joining us alongside Daniel Stein. I'm Alex Burstein, new man on the mound for the Bourne Braves. It'll be Jackson Kircher on to relieve Ben Dean. Daniel, what should we know about the Arkansas Razorback?
Well, Kircher has been one of the most reliable arms in the Cape League throughout the summer, and he's got nasty stuff, mid to high 90s fastball, good slider as well. But in the postseason, things have not necessarily gone his way, and we're watching him warm up now. There's been a number of pitches that were way outside, so it's been a little bit more of a mixed bag in the postseason, and he faces the heart of the Mariner lineup.
Third appearance of the 2026 Cape League postseason. He's given up 1 earned run across 3 2/3 innings.
The right fielder from Vanderbilt.
He starts off
21,
his first
Nico
inning of work
Brini.
against Nico Brini, the left-handed hitter out of Wofford, going to Vanderbilt for his 5th season of collegiate baseball. As the right fielder have some offense in him once again. Righty-lefty, the first pitch from Kircher. Fastball grounded right side straight to the glove of Rigdon. He throws to first in time, and it's a 4-3 putout on the first pitch thrown by Kircher. Brings the lefty Ty Smolinski to the plate. Kircher's last appearance was a weird one. It came in Game 1 of the West Division Finals against Hyannis, a game that saw multiple multi-run comebacks from both Hyannis and Bourne before the Braves ended up taking the win. Righty-lefty, the first pitch to Smolinski. Fastball misses inside, and it's a 1-0 count. In that game, Kircher got charged with both the blown save and the win because he blew it, stayed in the game, and then his offense came roaring back. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Smolinski. Curveball misses high and wide, and it's a 2-0 count. You'll mainly see that mid-90s fastball and a mid-80s curveball. That's been his bread and butter in the Cape League season. He was one of the most trusted bullpen arms for Bourne throughout all 2 months of the regular season. 2-0. Fastball cold for a strike inside. Ty Smolinski had walked away thinking it was a ball. He heard the strike call from home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa and immediately turned around looking shocked. But either way, it's a 2-1 count on the league MVP. Kircher stares home, now turns and fires the 2-1. Swing a bouncing ball foul to the right side. Kircher had some control issues at Arkansas this past year, his sophomore campaign with the Razorbacks. Only ended up grabbing 10 2/3 innings, played to a 9.28 ERA. Things have been a lot better on the Cape. His 2-2 pitch. Smolinski takes the fastball below his knees, and it's a full count. One away, bottom of the 7th inning, a 4-2 lead for Harwich over Bourne. Bourne has 6 outs offensively to try to make up the 2-run deficit. They need their defense to do some work as well. Here's the payoff pitch. Curveball, foul tip into the glove of Estap for strike number 3. Nasty breaking stuff from Jackson Kircher. It cut glove side against Smolinski, and he did not have a great swing on it.
Yeah, and this slider is kind of like a sweeper as well, because it has a lot of horizontal movement to it. And so when it comes in, you initially think it's going to be hung up over the plate, but then it just darts in kind of like a cutter. Smolinski only could get a slight piece of it.
He works against the righty, Cade Curlin. First pitch. There's that slider, called for a strike to the outer third. Entering this summer, mainly had the fastball and the curve. He said over the last few months he's working on adding that changeup in the slider, and it seems like they've found their way more consistently into his rotation. The 0-1 pitch. Down in the dirt. Count evens out at 1 apiece.
Well, that looks like the changeup right there. He's throwing it hard, and it definitely does have movement to it, but it's a little bit easier to tell just from the naked eye that it's ultimately going towards the zone. The slider doesn't have that movement until late.
If he has a 4-pitch rotation, he'll be a dangerous pitcher. 1-1. Down low again. Fastball misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Cade Curlin. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. 4-2 Harwich leads over Bourne. Game 3 of this Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. Harwich seeking a second title in 3 years. Here's the 2-1. Slider grounded sharply to short, backhanded by Waite, deep in the hole. He throws to first in time, and that's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th, worked by Jackson Kircher. The Bourne defense does what they need to do. Can the offense follow? 6 outs to grab at least 2 runs. We turn the page to the 8th, a 4-2 Harwich lead. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series.
Getting to be crunch time here at Whitehouse Field in Harwich. Score stands Harwich 4, Bourne 2 in Game 3 of the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League Championship Series. Winner lifts the Mycock Trophy, and for Bourne, just 6 outs remain. Luke Costello, Max Farrell, and Matt Bolton will be the 3 due up as Owen Wheeler enters his first full inning of work. It's a Bourne team that has only mustered 6 hits today. They did get a run in the 7th on a bases-loaded walk by Riker Waite. Can Costello come through? First pitch. Fastball just misses off the inside corner at 92. Costello has been cold today. He does have a single in the fourth, but apart from that, a 1-for-3 performance. This is where the Braves need him more than ever. 1-0. Fastball darts in again. He was a doubles machine this season. He had 10 of them, which led the Cape League, and that was mostly in the first half. 2-0 pitch. Costello takes a fastball outside corner for strike one. It was the most by a Bourne player since Christopher Brito in 2022 with 14. Also on that 2022 team was future Chicago Cub Matt Shaw, who also had 10. So Costello's in good company. 2-1. Inside fastball hit well out to left center field. Coming in is Colin Larson in center, but it's the left fielder Braden Jacksa who makes the catch. 5 outs to go for Harwich. Costello the first to be retired in inning number 8.
And this feels like the inning that Bourne has to do something, because if you go quickly here and you leave it to a struggling bottom part of the order for the Braves, that is a tough look for the ninth. You have to imagine they need at least one here in the 8th.
1 out here in the top of the 8th. Harwich leads 4-2 in a game that will give out all the marbles. Max Farrell up at the plate, who has a hit today, 1 for 3. First pitch right on right. Fastball fouled straight back into the netting. He's reached twice today, had a fielder's choice in the fourth. He made it to first. Owen Wheeler, the main Black Bear, back out on the mound. It's a guy who had pretty significant playing time in the America East, but never made a start. So he's used to coming out of the pen. 0-1, infield back, here's the pitch. Breaking ball taken on the inside corner. 0-2. Harwich trying to win their second title in 3 seasons. The last one was in 2024. It was Steve Englert's third. 0-2 on Farrell. Wheeler's pitch. Breaking ball hit to the left side on the ground. Gloved by Ty Smolinski at short. He throws across the diamonds, and O'Leary puts the squeeze on it. 4 to go for Harwich. Farrell is out, and Matt Bolton will come up, who's reached in all 3 plate appearances. Last with a double in the 7th.
The center fielder from Binghamton,
2 outs
number
here
28,
in the top of the
Matt
8th.
Bolton.
It's crunch time for Bourne. Harwich has led in all 3 games of this championship series, and they have not given the lead up here tonight. First pitch to Bolton. Fastball just misses away, comes in at 92. You think about clutch performers, and Bolton certainly in the springtime has been that guy. With Binghamton, he was first team All-America East, set a school record this past season with 78 hits. 1-0. Takes a fastball that dots the inside corner. Ball and a strike here with 2 outs in the 8th. Won a Summer League championship last season with the Newport Goals. 1-1 on Bolton. Tails outside, 2-1. Infield back here, except for the third baseman, J.P. Peltier. He plays just a couple inches away from the infield grass. Ty Smolinski slightly shifted over. 2-1. Fastball cut on and missed. 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Owen Wheeler trying to pitch a 1-2-3 inning to get Harwich an inning closer to their 7th Cape League championship. 2-2 on Matt Bolton. Here's the pitch. High fastball gulfed the other way. Diving stop by Smolinski, but it goes off his glove and into shallow left. Bolton safe on first, and the inning continues for Ryan Piketowski.
Yeah, it's a hard hit ball by Bolton. Smolinski's very solid there at short, but
from West Virginia,
his momentum carried into
Ryan
the ball and trickled into shallow left field. So the rally keeps on going. One of these late order Bourne players will need to step up and make an unusually big hit if they want to keep their season going.
Right on right with Ryan Piketowski. Wheeler's first pitch, cut on and missed on a breaking ball low and outside. maybe a little bit of a surprise that Piketowski is still in this game. He's grounded into a double play and struck out today. You do have a lefty bat off your bench in Gabe Milano. Wheeler's 0-1. Change up in the dirt, kept in front by Tucker Stockman.
Brady Bendick beginning to warm up in the Harwich pen, potentially for a 9th inning save.
How long is the leash here for Owen Wheeler? 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Runner on first. 1-1. Piketowski takes the slider outside. Tying run at the plate. 4-2. Bourne just picked up their 7th hit of the evening. Harwich has 11. There have been no errors from either team here tonight. Wheeler ready, a deep breath, and the pitch. Fastball hits the inside corner at 94. 2-2. Bourne with their back up against the wall here in the 8th. Matt Bolton singled with 2 outs to keep the inning going. Can Piketowski keep it going? 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, he checks his swing and stays alive. That ball bounced into the dirt, ended up in the left-handed batter's box. So now the next pitch, Bolton will be on the move. 4-2, top 8 in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship. Winner takes the trophy. Bourne trying to get back in it. 3-2 to Piketowski. In the dirt, ball 4. And Justin Osterhaus will get an at-bat here. A guy who's been on base all 3 times.
Yeah, and Osterhaus has the biggest hit of the day for
The
this
left fielder
Braves
from
team.
Alabama, number 31,
And
Justin
now
Osterhaus.
we'll see a mound visit as pitching coach Hunter Dilworth wants to talk things over with Rodriguez. We'll see how long that leash actually is. Rodriguez started off the day really strong, retired the first 3 batters he saw, but a single and a walk. And then the other thing you have to consider is the deeper this Bourne team goes in the 8th, now you're at least going to have your 1 and 2 due up in the 9th inning, which is big for them because the top of the order is where they've seen the majority of their offense this postseason.
Osterhaus, the 7-hitter in Scott Lander's lineup. It's a Bourne team that has averaged over 6.5 runs a game.
Osterhaus.
But they've just been held to 2 runs in the last game and change here of this championship series. Going to get a pinch runner as Gabriel Milano will take Piketowski's place, and he'll run at first. They'll keep Matt Bolton on second. It's going to be a right-on-left matchup as Owen Wheeler alone on the mound after the mound visit. Infielders back to their positions. Hunter Dilworth, the pitching coach, back to his dugout. First and second, 2 outs. Bourne chasing 2 in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Osterhaus. Fastball popped up. Left side foul ground. Stockman is looking for it. Near the wall, it bounces in the first row of the bleachers out of play. That was dangerously close to being an early end to the at-bat for Osterhaus, but he stays alive. Bourne fans next to us sparsely calling out encouraging words to Osterhaus, but that crowd has largely been quieted. 0-1. Here it is. Breaking ball in the dirt, taken for a ball. Count evens at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and you got a big contact guy in Austin Hawk on deck, so walking to load the bases certainly not in the interest of Rodriguez right now as Bendick continues to get hot in the pen.
1-1 to Osterhaus. Changeup taken low and outside. It was in the righty batter's box. And Osterhaus pulls ahead. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. As Alex mentioned, Austin Hawk on deck, who has a double today. This is getting to be the part of the order that you would want up in this situation here if you're the Bravos. Trying to make a comeback in Game 3. 2-1. Fastball inside corner, evens it up. 94 out of Wheeler's right hand. And now
ahead in the count, you probably are going to take that, but that's one of the better pitches as a lefty you're going to see. And now a big count for Rodriguez.
2-2 pitch. Osterhaus swings and misses. Wheeler fired up, and Harwich is 3 outs away from a Cape League championship. He picks a great time for his second strikeout, and Bourne leaves a pair stranded. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Potentially the last chance for this Harwich team to add some insurance before the 9th. Jackson Kircher heading back out there, and me and Alex will be with you on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. 4-2, Harwich leads going to the bottom of the 8th here on Cape League TV. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 4-2. The Mariners lead here at Whitehouse Field. Jackson Kircher heads back to the mound for the Braves as Sean O'Leary, J.P. Peltier, and Braden Jacksa will be the 3 due up for Harwich. An offense that has put on a really good showing, considering that neither team has really had a lot of extra base hits. Alex, there still hasn't been a home run in this championship series yet, but the Harwich Mariners have 11 hits.
Yeah, they've been a small ball team throughout the first couple of rounds, and last
dirt might have gotten right to us there. That ball skipped so hard it went through the dirt went through the fence.
It's like a 4D watching experience. We're really a part of the game now.
We're positioned about a couple inches away from the fence here, about 10 feet away from home plate. 1-2 with 1 out. Kircher looks in, glove out. Here's his pitch. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 3. Dials it up to 98, and Peltier is fanned for the second time. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. The last chance at insurance here before the 9th. Braden Jacksa, who's got a single today.
And Kircher's done what he's needed to do. 2 strikeouts, 5 batters retired to start off his outing. It's just going to come down to where this Bourne offense has one late push. They have been a late inning team this regular season, so who knows?
Right on right with the big left fielder Jacksa. Kircher's first pitch. Breaking ball called for a strike on the outer half. Jackson's hit the ball hard in 2 of his 3 at-bats. His first one was a line out to Austin Hawk at third. A ball that the Braves' third baseman was just perfectly positioned for. Kircher takes a deep breath, holds his ruby red glove out, now starts his wind. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a strike at 97, and it's 0-2. Braves are going to have 8-9-1 in the 9th. Is Harwich going to keep this lead at 2, or will they have some more insurance? Kircher ready. The 0-2 pitch. Jacksa takes a slider just outside. Estep held it a little bit for Mike Hinojosa, but he shook it off. You could see the turquoise back of Estep's backwards catching cap stick out as he held that ball. 1-2 with 2 outs. Infield back here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Mariners. Jacksa at the plate. Kircher's 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. And that ends the 8th inning. Jackson Kircher does his job. He gets his 3rd strikeout and has set down all 6 that he faces in his outing. To the 9th we go. Harwich, 3 outs away from a Cape League championship. Stick around. Alex and I will be with you on the other side of the break. 4-2 Mariners headed to the 9th. This is it here in Game 3 of the 2026 Cape League Championship. Bourne and Harwich series tied 1-1, but Harwich has pulled ahead here in Game 3. 4-2, they lead heading to the top of the 9th. Left chance for the Bourne Bats, and it's a new arm out of Steve Englert's pen. Alex, it's Luke Morgan back in.
Yeah, Morgan making his 2nd appearance of the postseason. He threw just 3 days ago a relief role against YD in Game 2 of the East Championship. He gave up 4 hits, including a double, and left the bases loaded when he was pulled in the 9th. So has had mixed results out of the pen this postseason, and he faces off against a tough first batter in Austin Hawk.
Austin Hawk today has returned a little bit to his pre-championship playoff form. A double in the 5th. Right-on-right matchup with Luke Morgan. The right-hander starts his wind. His first pitch. Hawk watches one down the pipe at 94. 0-1. Just feel like each pitch is going to have a half-loud volume of applause here from these Harwich fans. 0-1. Morgan's pitch to Hawk. High breaking ball taken upstairs. Evens the count at 1 apiece. A series that has been so fun. Bourne took the first game here at Whitehouse Field 7-3. And then Harwich responded on the road with a 1-0 win. 1-1. Fastball bounced to the left side, through the hole for a base hit. It rolls into left where Jaxa will relay it in. Austin Hawk does his job. Tying run coming to the plate with E-step.
Yeah, that's what Hawk's done all postseason. He gets his 2nd hit of the day, and this one, just a C&I single through the left side. He's been such a contact guy for this Bourne team. You feel so confident with him at the plate, and he does his job. Now you just got to keep the order going if you're Bourne.
Here's Bryce E-step, 0 for 2 today. Hawk takes his lead at first. Right-on-right matchup. Morgan ready. His first pitch. High fastball for a ball. Comes in at 93. E-step pulls ahead. Bourne only with 2 runs in this game. First in the 2nd, 2nd in the 7th. They trail by 2. 1-0 pitch on Bryce E-step. Fastball hit well out to center field. Colin Larson giving chase near the wall. He's got it. 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Bryce E-step has been ice cold in this playoffs, but he hit that one a long way.
Yeah, just got a little too under it. That was the closest he's had to a barrel hit this postseason. He's going to possibly finish out this championship set 0 for 8. So not a great showing for the catcher. Almost a hero there, but comes up a few feet short.
Top of the order up for Bourne. Hawk on first, 1 out. Right on left with Riker Waite. Morgan's first pitch. Fastball down the middle for strike 1. Luke Morgan, a rising junior, plays his college ball at Oregon. Local guy from Grants Pass, town of about 40,000 people off I-5. His 0-1. Breaking ball, tails upstairs.
Yeah, I think this Bourne team is seeing his iffy control because they're taking a lot more than they did against Christian Rodriguez and Owen Wheeler.
1-1 with the runner on. One out in the top of the ninth. Morgan's pitch. Waite takes a breaking ball in the dirt. That's a heck of a take, and it puts him ahead in the count. 2 balls to a strike. Riker Waite has a hit and an RBI today. That RBI was on a 7th inning walk. It was the last time the Braves scored. 4-2 in the ninth. 2-1. Fastball golfed to the right side, foul. It barrels against the screen that shields the Bat Boys from the field of play. And it's 2-2 on Riker Waite. Infield is back. You have J.P. Peltier at third, hugging that third base line. Middle infielders, Smolinski and Kurland ready for a ground ball. Morgan's 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball chopped foul to the right side. It bounces against the Bourne dugout. We'll do it again. Even count. Austin Hawk singled to lead off the ninth. He's at first, being held on by Sean O'Leary. Hawk takes his lead. Morgan sets at the belt. His 2-2 pitch. Waite golfs it into shallow right field. It's down for a hit. Hawk will round second and head for third. He's in without a throw. Bourne is still alive. Runners on the corners with one out in the top of the ninth for Rustin Rigdon.
Yeah, Waite just kept on fouling off those inside pitches. He finally finds one that he can hit under and just bloop it over anyone on the right side of the infield. A great piece of hitting, and the speed you have on the base pass right now. Hawk makes first to third look easy, and Waite obviously very fast, the leadoff man at first.
He'll be held on. On the corners for Rustin Rigdon. One out in the ninth. Morgan's first pitch. Rigdon takes a breaking ball outside. These Bourne hitters, as you mentioned, Alex, have really seen this breaking ball well.
Well, they've taken every single first pitch thrown by Morgan this inning.
The one breaking ball he did throw in the zone, Riker Waite hit for a single. 1-0 on the corners. Morgan's pitch. Fastball popped up foul. It goes out of play on the left side. Rustin Rigdon today has grounded into a double play and struck out 3 times. The dangerous Luke Costello waits on deck. Luke Morgan trying to get the final 2 outs to crown Harwich the champions of the Cape here in 2026. Bourne not going away yet. 1-1 pitch. High fastball golfed down the left field line. It's going to tail foul. That had double distance to it, but Rigdon was just a little bit late. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Riker Waite on first, Austin Hawk on third. Top 9, Harwich 4, Bourne 2. Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. Bourne won the first game, Harwich won the second game, and the Mariners are 2 outs away from taking the winner-take-all Game 3. Everyone in the Harwich bullpen standing. 1-2 count. Morgan a deep breath. His 1-2. Rigdon swings and misses. 2 outs. He strikes out for the 4th time, and Harwich is 1 out away from a Cape League championship.
Yeah, well, after a few very patient at-bats,
number 38, Luke
this time
Costello.
just a high heater that Rigdon's going to want back.
The last man standing in Harwich's way is Luke Costello. On the corners with 2 outs. Morgan ready. The first pitch. Costello takes one above his head. Had to duck out of the way, and it's 1-0.
Oh, you almost have to kind of take that one in a situation like this. That would have loaded the bases for the Braves.
Waite on first, Hawk on third. 2 outs. Bourne chasing 2. Down to their final out. 1-0 on Luke Costello. Wait goes. Pitch taken inside for a ball. Throw down to second is not in time. What a ice-cold decision from Riker Waite.
And that was close.
Tell you what, in 2024 with the Boca Raton Blazers, Waite stole 54 bases. That's a league record in the South Florida Collegiate League. If there's anyone who knows how to steal bases, it's Waite. Tying run moves into scoring position. Second and third, 2 outs. 2-0 on Costello. Morgan ready. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball taken for strike 1. It just nicked the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Luke Costello, he's been here this whole season, and he's torn it up. His team needs him. 2 outs in the 9th. Morgan's 2-1. Fastball taken inside. The crowd here at Whitehouse Field did not like it. Some of the fans are banging on the netting down the third base line. And it puts Costello up in the count 3-1. Infield back, 2 outs. Mariners up 4-2. 1 out away from a win. Morgan's 3-1 pitch. Fastball taken for strike 2. And the count moves full. That was a similar spot. Everyone is rising to their feet. Wade on second. Hawk on third. 2 outs. Costello at the plate. And Luke Morgan is 1 strike away. 3-2 pitch in the top of the 9th. Here it is. Breaking ball popped up on the infield. Ty Smolinski over. Peltier makes the catch. Mariners fans, get ready to ride the wave. For the second time in 3 years, Harwich, the Kings of the Cape. Morgan is mobbed on the mound, and the final in this one, 4-2. As Harwich, for the second time in 3 years, beats Bourne in 3 games. And the Mariners capture their 7th Cape League championship here in 2026. Oh my goodness, Alex. You could not have asked for a more dramatic Game 3. And Bourne had it, but Harwich
Cape Cod Baseball League champions
are a bunch of Houdinis out there in the field, and they get the job done one final time.
I mean, really the last 2 games you couldn't have written a more fun finish. You have a defensive pitcher's battle for the ages in Game 2 that ends 1-0. And tonight you kind of got everything you wanted. 20 hits, but also some dazzling pitchers' performances. But at the end of the day, in both Games 2 and Game 3, Bourne just cannot convert with runners in scoring position. Yesterday, they leave runners in scoring position in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Today, they end runners in scoring position 7th, 8th, and 9th. Just a little too short. And this Harwich team, what a run. They really, really struggled in that month of July. Had a 6-game losing streak at one point. They limp into the postseason. And now they raise the Mycock Trophy.
Steve Englert, in his over 20 years with Harwich, wins the trophy for the 4th time. The final score in this one, 4-2. You think about back in that Game 2, where Bourne had a chance to walk it off at home and win the championship in just 2 games. They couldn't do it. Harwich stole a road win by a score of 1-0. And now, just 24 hours later here at Whitehouse Field, the Mariners, the 3rd seed in the East, take down the 2nd seed in the West in 3 games. Well, folks, we're not done yet. We got a good post-game coming up, hosted by Ryan Croke and Gabby Chernoff. Alex and I will sign off here for the broadcast. Final score here, Harwich, the 2026 Cape League champions. They take down Bourne by a score of 4-2. Keep tuning in. Post-game with Ryan and Gabby coming up next here on Cape League TV.